Welcome to Whispers and Choco. This is how we do, and if you don't know, now you do. I'm Shawnee Whispers.
And I'm Mike Choco.
Together we are Mike and Sean in Purebred Loco. Oh no, we fucked that up. Okay. Yeah. And we might go loco.
And we might go loco.
And just in case you wonder what went wrong. Or just in case you wonder what took long. We'll say that we're sorry, and this show is going.
This show is going
straight to hell.
Straight to hell.
I like that one, yes.
Yo, now coming to the plate and batting leadoff and playing center field.
Dun, 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 dun.
Johnnie, Little Bambino Salgado. Slugger. There you go. There we go. Sean live from Florida.
Shawnee.
The Mike and Sean show. Johnnie Salgado sitting in, co-hosting. You got to love this, huh?
This
Welcome.
is great,
It's there
man.
just in case you were missing out on Sean. I want to say it's Thursday, March 11th. It's
No, you gotta-
7:06.
A little raspy.
7:06.
I gotta say, it's you know, I gotta do that little raspy voice, man. You got that raspy voice.
All right, I had enough of that shit.
Shawnee.
Hey, Bob.
That was a fucking terrible impression, by the way.
It is.
Absolutely terrible.
I didn't
dude.
practice that one, and I wanted it to be
Well,
awful.
you should.
I wanted it to
Practice
be
makes
awful.
perfect.
Nah,
Purposely. He wanted to do that
purposely wanted it to
purposely.
be awful.
He doesn't want to make it
What
sound
up,
great.
my boys? What up? What up? What up?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, guys. I'm live.
How is it?
From Palm Beach. We are at Palm Beach Stadium, home of the Astros and the Nationals. They share the stadium, but
Alright.
this place is freaking gorgeous. It's huge. It's a beautiful stadium. I'll kind of show you a little bit.
Yeah, give us a nice little whip around.
There you go. Yeah. Show us what you got there.
I'm standing in the outfield so that I can hear you because unfortunately, I'm not a professional and I didn't prepare the proper way and I didn't bring a headset.
Yeah,
So
well,
I'm
that's
not gonna-
yeah. And now we're gonna leave Sean back where he is.
Now back to the regularly
Now
scheduled
back,
program.
Back to our alternative program.
Pac-Man sounds. Here we go.
Yeah.
Pac-Man sounds start.
Boink, boink.
But yeah, so this is an awesome stadium, and the Mets are fully loaded. Jake DeGrom on the
There you
mound.
go. There you go.
With
The
full
GOAT.
lineup. I
That's
think
right.
this is the lineup, guys, and
NY
this
GOAT.
lineup is
So
ridiculous.
what did they put out there? How did they line it up?
So what they did was they led off with Nimmo, and then they went Lindor, they went Conforto 3, and then they went Alfonso, Smith, and McNeil,
Wow.
which is really interesting.
Solid.
That
That's
blew
pretty
my
solid.
mind a little bit.
You know,
That's pretty
McNeil's a
solid.
lot of contact right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
To the bottom is even more bananas. The bottom is JD, and then they have Albert Alcantara there. So, but
Who did you say?
the last
Who?
three,
¿Quién?
Cam-
¿Quién? ¿De quién me hablas? ¿Qué?
Alcantara.
Yeah.
Say
that 5 times.
That
why
guy.
don't you?
That guy.
Yeah.
McCann hit ninth.
Say it
So
sober.
You literally have, like,
Put the beer down.
no, first of all, Babel. I didn't bring Babel with me.
Ah, come on, Shawnee.
I'm in Florida. I'm in West Palm
You got
Beach.
enough
I'm around-
babble around you.
Yeah, you should be able to get through.
Around rich white people. I didn't need to. I definitely didn't need to.
Babble. You don't need to babble. Okay.
Yeah, we don't speak that down here.
Sorry.
Sean,
unless
show
I
us
need
the
somebody to
glove.
take my pictures away.
Yo, show us your glove. Show us the glove
Let
you
me see the
brought.
glove you took, man.
Hold on. I'm gonna show it to you. Hold on.
We know you took a glove.
Yeah, we know you got a glove.
Yeah, we know you.
You're holding it right between your knees. Look there, he pinched it on his knees. He just hung up on himself. Good job, by the way.
Thanks, Shawnee.
Yeah, you're the best cameraman ever.
There he is. Where's the glove, man? We want to see the glove.
Yeah, stop pinching it.
I don't bring the glove ever.
So, Shawnee, I've been following you on the Facebook, of course. By the way, you can see us on Facebook, right?
We're going
Go to
live at
Mixed
Facebook,
Radio Vibes. Mixed Radio Vibes. You can check us out on Facebook.
Mixed Vibes Radio.
YouTube, Mixed
I
Vibes
said
Radio,
Mixed Vibes Radio. Sorry, my
Facebook,
bad. My bad.
YouTube,
My bad.
Twitch.
My bad.
If you want to call in, got some questions, we're going to do some trivia maybe.
Yes.
At 718-616-9971.
That's right.
We want to hear from you for sure.
Make sure you add the page. Make sure you like the page. Make sure you subscribe to the page. All right,
Most
so you can keep
important.
checking out Mikey and Shawnee. So
This is the support right
I've
here.
been watching you, man. You've been playing some golf, man. You've been playing some golf.
I played 3 rounds of golf.
All right.
Every round got better, but I sucked on like it didn't matter.
You just suck. I just suck.
You know Tiger Woo?
You know
Tiger Woo?
Not Tiger Woo.
You know Tiger Woo?
Not Tiger Woo.
He's Tiger Woo.
I only lost 14 balls on the first course.
Only.
That's it?
Yeah, so there was water. There's like 57,000 lakes in Florida, apparently, that I didn't know about, and they're all on golf courses.
What's the par?
So when I get home, I'm buying stock in Bridgestone because that's about how many balls I lost. But yeah,
balls
and then
I
played
lost.
today. We played, and I played a lot better today. It was my third day out of the week that I played, and I definitely felt the rhythm. So today I only lost 7 balls.
All right, that's not bad.
7 balls.
That's not balls. 7 balls. Half.
Hey, you
want
know
half?
what? I lost 7 balls.
7 balls.
Oh,
Oh, Jermaine, you lost 7 balls. You know,
Forget
we got the
about-
Italian, you got the
forget
Cubano, whatever
about
you got
it.
it. You know how it goes, man.
I hit balls.
But I always keep my 2. Always.
I always cup my balls.
Any crocodile or alligator sightings out there or what?
What's that?
Any crocodile or alligator sightings on the golf
No,
course?
thank God. You know what? Honestly, thank God, because all of my balls were in the water.
You ever see those giant
I was
alligators?
really worried about getting eaten or attacked by a crocodile or an alligator.
I mean, if you came back with 1 hand less, it wouldn't be that bad.
It wouldn't, yeah, you won't be able to do this.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to hit me.
You won't be able to hit.
You wouldn't be able to hit me if you lose that hand. So
You won't be able to smack Shawnee.
why don't you just reach in for those balls, my friend?
Go get him.
You'd be like Grimace.
Like this, he's got tuck his hands underneath his armpits. Go ahead. We missed it.
We missed what you were saying. You were saying something, Mike. Shawnee, it sounded like you got cut off for a second.
No.
Oh.
That's great. I love when Mike cuts me off. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
So listen, man.
That's his redemption. I want you to cut me off, please.
Cut me off,
I
please.
really
I beg
appreciate
you.
it.
I beg
Oh,
you.
my God, I feel so good.
So the boys are looking good down there. That's what matters, man. I'm excited. I
important,
can't wait, man. I
Boys
can't
are
wait.
looking good, man. It's amazing. Honestly, guys, it's just everything feels a little bit more normal now that baseball's back.
Yeah.
And fans are in the stadium. And yesterday was cool. Francisco Lindor. He hates being called Frankie, by the way.
Yes.
So then don't do
don't
that.
call him Frankie,
Yeah,
please.
Yeah,
so-
he doesn't like it. But
We want him to
Francisco
sign a
Lindor
contract.
got behind a camera behind home plate, and we were sitting out in the outfield. And
Oh, I
kinda
saw that.
pulled-
Yeah.
It turned really quick, and you could see us. It was really wild. It was on SNY.com. It was pretty cool.
He was actually
But,
looking for you guys, but he followed that dude around.
I'm
but-
I got the wrong guy.
He was
Goes-
like, "There's a loud dude out there. Where
he
is
was
he?
like,
Let's
"Yo,
find him.
Where's that big mouth?
Where's that
Sean."
big mouth at? Where's he at?"
No, but look, I bought a new St. Lucie hat.
All right.
Looks good. Sean
Looks-
L.
looks nice. I like that.
Sean L.
XL.
There you go.
That's
Your initials
L.
on the hat. Not
That's
bad.
And there we go, man. We're ready to go for opening day. I'm going to be home tomorrow, and I will be back next week. But Johnny, I love you for filling in. And
Hey, thank
doing
you for
the show
inviting me,
today.
man. You know, anytime, man. Anytime, bro.
Well, I love
Yeah,
you
I
for
mean,
it.
we should do this every week.
Hey, next week you should go somewhere else. I don't know. Go.
yeah,
Where do you want to go next week?
I'll chip in. I'll get you out of here.
Listen, as long as you pay, I'm gone. It's all good, bro.
Don't worry about
We'll
it.
send you to L.A. and
Yeah.
maybe we'll send you out there.
We're gonna get you on the scene in Texas. Tell us how it's going out in Texas.
You'd be like a field
Look, between
reporter.
the two of you, I love it. I'll travel. I got
Just
no
when you
puppy
get to
remote
Texas,
reporter.
okay, but when you get to Texas, you have to drop Johnny's name. That's
Yeah.
the only way
That's
it works.
the only way you get in there. If not, it's not gonna happen. Oh, see, come on in. I know that guy. Yeah.
Oh, they're all Mexican
I
now.
know him. I know him.
Orale. Johnny.
We're gonna send you to maybe Toronto. Is Toronto still cold?
Toronto's still cold.
Yeah, we'll send you to Toronto then.
Yeah. We want to know about ice. Tell us
I
all
heard
about
Toronto was
ice.
clean. I heard
Yeah.
Toronto was very clean.
It's very
Nah,
clean.
it's beautiful.
It's very
It's-
hipster
it's-
too.
very-
It's
very
clean and
friendly.
hipstery.
It's
so
very beautiful out there.
It's very
man.
gentrified. So go enjoy yourself.
Shawnee, what do you think about the guys doing a pre-celebration? Was it yesterday that they did that?
Oh, the defensive celebration.
Yeah, the defensive. What do you think
That's-
about that, man?
Stupid,
Say
man.
again, what was it?
When the guys were celebrating, acting like it was the last out of the World Series,
Did you see throwing the gloves and jumping up at it?
they were like replaying. You didn't like
Listen,
it?
First of all, some of these players are, everything's taken a little bit overboard nowadays. If you notice, like especially in baseball, they encourage the fist pumps and throwing the bats and everything. So it's almost like it's different now, I think, than it was when we were growing up with the celebrations.
Right, because
So,
don't you dare show the other
it's
guy
hard
up.
for us
Don't
to
do it.
judge, though. Mike, like back in the day, if you threw a bat, if you tossed your bat after a home run, you get the next pitch was in your neck.
The next guy got hit, and he got mad at you.
He got mad at you.
You owe people dinner for all the baseballs getting thrown at them for you being a dick. But
Yep.
now
Yep.
they encourage it because they want more fans being involved. So, I don't hate on it as much. I think I'm kind of like into it.
I'm with you, man. I everybody's like, oh, it's childish. I'm like, you know what? They're when you say that, like, if you see it, it'll happen. You gotta like imagine, put it out there, project it out there. I don't have a problem with it, man. Everybody's talking about how, that was childish. Oh, it's baseball, man.
Well, if you look on Baseball America,
Yeah.
right, there's they're trying to have some experimental things they're trying out. And I didn't get to read the whole thing. I want to read it later.
Yeah.
But in AAA, they're making the bases longer. So the bases are 15 inches. They're making them 18 inches and hoping that they'll get more runs, more stolen bases from it. So they're trying a whole bunch of deals.
That's
We're
too
gonna
much.
get a-
Now they're going too much, man.
Well,
They're going too
that's
much.
definitely that's a good idea for first base with all the guys
Leading
stepping
off.
on each other's feet and getting.
True.
Hey, Sean, hang on one sec.
Shawnee, we already have a
hang
phone
on.
call,
Let's
man.
go. We already got a call.
It might be a question for you, so let's find out. Hold
Yeah.
on a second. Hello?
Who's on the air?
Yo, is the tailgate still going on?
Yeah, Giambi. Yeah, it's still going on.
Giambi's back. It's going on, man.
We need extra hands.
Rob, you really interrupted me, bro. Really?
Well, we don't know what he's got yet, so let's listen.
I need the porta potties, yo. You know
Uh,
how many beers I drink in that
I got a
bitch?
porta
Yeah.
potty.
Yeah, we got a bucket. I got the potty.
We got a cup.
No, actually, you know what?
You could use
Rob,
this.
I'm glad you called in and brought the tailgate up. I got an announcement about the tailgate.
Oh, wait.
Drum roll.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
This year, we will have a live pig being cooked and carved.
We have a
live
live
pig.
Who's gonna chase
Yeah.
it down?
Is it Miss Piggy? Is it Miss Piggy? Oh, Shawnee.
It was live at one point. It'll be a
He
whole
hung
pig.
up.
I probably should have said a dead whole pig.
A dead whole pig.
He said a live pig. We're chasing him in the parking lot.
Somebody just got the pig.
Somebody dives on it. Hold it down.
Yo, listen, a lot of guys love pigs, bro. What are you gonna
Then
do?
yeah. Such a different crowd.
Hey, I was there for the first time he did. It was good, man. So hopefully it'll work again.
Yeah, that was the pig. The first
Yeah,
pig
that
roast
was-
was
that
really,
was-
really good. It
That
was
was
really amazing.
That was
Yes.
delicious, man. That was actually
so
really good.
this one is going to be a real good friend, Paulie Garibaldi.
All right.
He's going to hook it up, man. He called me the other day and he confirmed. So
Big shout out to him.
Paul. Thanks for doing that.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Looking forward to it. Make sure you guys all call in for the tailgate. This year it's going to be $60 a person. And the only reason because we're not going into the stadium.
Everything's
the party
outside.
is
Right.
gonna be
Whole party's
extended
out.
a little bit. So we're going to have to buy a little bit more beer. And that's about it. The food, we'll have enough.
We're not gonna buy food. We're just buying
Just
more.
buy more beer.
Just more beer,
Yeah,
don't.
it's always about the beer.
Yeah.
That's what people
Are you
look
hungry?
for.
Who cares?
You're not looking for a hot dog in the fourth inning. You know what I mean? You're looking
Yeah.
for a beer.
Cerveza.
So
Depending on how much you.
everybody get ahead and call me in and send it to Venmo. Do whatever you got to do. Get me that money.
We'll make it happen, man. We'll make it happen. You already know, guys.
Get me that money.
Something just happened. Hold on.
Uh-oh, something happened. Something. This is live, man.
It's like this.
What happened?
Is there a brawl?
He's like, something
I
just
think
happened.
we
Hold
had-
on.
I think we had a great play in the outfield and somebody got thrown out. Houston made a
I
great
like.
play.
I like the way it has no names and something happened.
Somebody caught the ball.
Somebody threw it.
You know
And
what?
threw it
I'm
in.
all the way in the corner of the stadium so I
Yeah.
can hear you guys. That's the biggest problem. 'cause I'm
Yeah.
unprepared.
That's the biggest problem.
I'm going to the floor.
Yeah. So for now on, when you report something hit the ball, somebody catch the ball,
Somebody threw it.
somebody threw it,
Somebody caught it.
and the other guy, he's good.
And the other guy, I don't know. He's out. He's safe. We'll say that again.
Say that.
I said, when you pay for my trip to Texas next week, then we'll test it out then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll test it out in Texas and then the following week in LA.
Yeah. And when that doesn't work, we'll get to Alaska.
Well, I'll be here all month.
While you guys chat, I'm going to walk back to my seat so I can show you my seats, and then I'll sign off and let you guys rock the show.
Yeah, because we do want to see what the seat actually looks like.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
We heard you could like shave dude's back and all that good stuff.
I heard you could reach over and tickle somebody while you're there. It's one of those really good seats.
It's a really, really good seat. It's a really, really good seat. In the meantime, let's do the intro of the show, man. We didn't do the intro.
We didn't do the intro of the show.
No.
And so, as we back, because we needed Sean for a second, let's get that rewind.
We got to do it right, man. We got to do it right.
All right. This is the Mike and Sean Show. We know more than you do, but even if we don't,
Vamos a decir que sí sabemos más que tú.
yeah.
I just pressed the sat button. That's what happened there on that one. I just pressed.
The translate, Google Translator.
There's a babble. There's your babble for today, Sean.
There you go.
There's your babble. Let's see. We're waiting to see Sean's seat,
Can't wait.
which so far he's getting real close.
They just get better and better and better. And then wait till you see what Jack Mattis is wearing. Oh, baby.
Oh baby. Oh
All right,
baby.
here we go.
Here we
Jack,
go. Here we
Jack.
go. Man, that makes me.
It makes me want to go watch
That's
some
what I'm
baseball.
saying. It makes me miss. I want to be at a game right now, dude.
You want to yell something and see if you can hear you on the other side.
Yo.
Stugger!
I'm over here.
All right. Let's play catch.
Let's go. We don't need those cups like back in the day.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
those-
with the string?
With the string? No, we don't need that. We just
No.
yo.
Just here.
Sean, he's still walking. Where is he?
Jeez. You figure with those long legs you'd get to your seat already.
He's in Texas already.
Oh, so how's Texas?
He made it to Texas. He made it to Texas.
And Joe Pagoda.
There you go. Getting
Shout
close.
out a couple of people.
Shout them out.
Shout them all out, man.
Get everybody.
So these are my seats, man. We're 5, 6 rows
Just
up
like the
from
grass.
Nice.
The grass
The
is-
grass looks
Home
green.
plate.
Grass, beautiful.
It
Look
looks,
at that.
it looks
That's.
beautiful. What are you about, like 5 rows in?
What are you falling down? Are you falling
I'm on
down?
the 6th row.
Oh, look at the shirt. Look at the shirt.
Jack.
Look at the shirt.
So
Captain Jack.
All right.
design that we got.
I'm gonna need
Mike
you.
and Sean podcast. I'm wearing the Queen's design.
All right,
It
that
is.
looks good. I
like
mean,
that.
I still just see the field.
I
so.
see the lights. I see lights.
All right, come away from the lights. Don't go to the lights.
Stay away from the lights. Stay away from the lights, Sean.
Oh, it sounds like a little
Away
kid.
from the lights.
Stay with the light.
No, you said to go towards the light. What the hell's going? What are we showing us? What are you showing us?
Jack, show us that big
Show-
arm,
oh,
Jack.
there it is. Look at that. Oh, nice. The Mike and Sean.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's the. Oh, wow.
Thanks
That's
for letting me
sweet.
Chime in for a little bit. I really can't hear you
Nice.
because it's a little louder.
All right,
Nice.
yeah, right there, right to
I'm
your
zooming
mouth.
out.
Yeah, right to your mouth.
Choco.
He's
Yes,
got.
sir.
Shout out to you.
He's got to talk low. He's gonna get in trouble.
Who's in it?
He's got to talk low now because he's
Jack
gonna get in
Matter
trouble.
saying spending his love to Choco.
Thank you very much, Jack.
There it is.
Can't wait to see you when you guys get back.
What up, Slugger?
Yo, what's up, baby?
Thank
Well, there you go,
Hey,
man.
Who made this? Hey, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who put this design together for the hat and the shirts?
Well, the hat was just our logo.
All right.
And then myself
Hey,
and
Jack.
John Nunes. From
John
CL.
Nunes did this.
Nunes.
This is John Nunes.
John's the man, bro.
Nice.
John Nunes, thank you for shout out.
John
to John.
Nunes,
John
Big
Nunes,
Daddy. Look at this.
Big
Putting out
John.
a very
He looked
big,
us up and
beautiful
made these
project
designs and
I
they're
like
really
that.
and a
That's
good.
good.
product for
And
us.
we love
I
the
want
product.
one.
Yeah.
CL
It will.
95 Sport.
I need one.
We
That's the one.
I think that's the large. So it's gonna look like a dress on you.
I need a pequeño, okay? Size small, please. Size
pequeño.
small,
Slugger, I got you,
pequeño.
Slugger, I got you pequeño.
Okay.
Gracias, señor.
Because you're going to Texas, you got to prepare for it.
I gotta get ready, man. You know.
Have a
My
great
friends
show,
are
boys.
coming.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Later,
See you
man.
later,
Shawnee,
man.
man. Thank you, man. Have a good one, brother.
Thank you. Guys, enjoy.
There you go. We went to
That's-
what was he again in Fort Lauderdale, right? That's what he who was he playing at?
Houston.
I totally forgot. Houston. That's
Houston.
what I thought. Okay, and we kept talking Texas. I
Yeah,
told,
like you're like, I want to go to Texas.
I
now.
want to go to Texas
Yeah.
now. Not really, but it's all good, man. Anyways, Mike,
Yeah,
man.
I got to tell you,
I'm happy to be here, man. Again, thank
most
you.
important is the finishing our conversation. You're the co-host and still guest.
Yes.
So we had
So it's
one to lead into others, but we had one main question that was your longest tour. That's what we were talking
Oh,
about.
you remember that?
Right. So you were saying you started out with it was 6 months.
Right. Yeah. You know what?
And then-
Let's explain what happened. What happened was Shawnee.
ADD.
The ADD just
If
kicked
there were
in.
more D's just to add
I think
to it, it'd be
I got
like
to like 2 places and then we just totally like went off the map. But yeah, it was.
No, you probably said 2 words, and then he
And
was
he
like,
just-
"So did you see that color blue on the building next door?"
No, actually, the longest. Going back to that question because it's a good one. It was a 6-month tour. It was like I said. It started in Washington D.C. We drove down to Washington, finished the show, drove back up to LaGuardia Airport, jumped on a plane, went to Aruba. We did Aruba for about a weekend. from Aruba, we jumped on a plane, went to Venezuela, which is like maybe a hop, skip, and a jump from.
That's it. Because when you went to Aruba, all of a sudden he jumped into sand.
somewhere
You
else.
connected this, a
And
bus
then
ride
beach
somewhere.
and everywhere else. He got lost. The tourists got attacked.
The sharks came on the
All that,
sand.
like that movie Teresa.
Yeah, like that's what it was.
That's what happened.
He was kidnapped. They stole his kidneys. They gave it back. It was no good.
So we did the Aruba thing, and then we jumped on a plane, which is like an hour to Venezuela.
Was it like a propeller plane?
It was yeah, no.
Because you're outside,
No,
somebody spinning the wheels.
I've got some of those great stories with those little planes, dude.
Scary?
You know, yeah, like straight up.
Kiss your ass goodbye kind of
like
story.
La Bamba,
Oh,
straight
yeah?
up like that kind of, yeah, like, oh my God, yeah, I got some real horror stories about that, but yeah, we did Venezuela for like a month. Now you got to remember, this was at the beginning of when we were kind of like, the group was known but not big, but we were still filling in coliseums and stuff like that. But a lot of people didn't recognize the faces. I've only been in a group with Eric for like 2 years at that point.
I think 2 years isn't enough to recognize
It really,
somebody.
it really isn't, because you know what happened with us.
I mean, I've been doing acting for 9 years. Nobody knows who the hell I am.
But you know what? At the time, we only had one video, maybe 2 videos out. And the first video, Eric and I weren't in it because we weren't in the group.
Right.
So the second video, by that time, it was out. But, you know, it was still, it wasn't like here. It starts, let's say it starts in Ecuador. Then it jumps over to Venezuela like a month
But it
later.
doesn't
then
stay there. It just keeps.
it jumps and then it stays.
Okay.
So it's like it's a delay. It's a delayed reaction. So by the time we got to Venezuela, they had just started seeing the group visually. Like they just knew what the group looked like. So it was one of those things where we did 15 shows maybe in a month.
In a month.
15 shows.
So what are your days between that? Like
That's the thing. That's the
So you
tough-
do like 2 shows in a
we
row
would do
in the same place?
We would do sometimes.
Excuse me.
It was mainly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But sometimes you had like a Wednesday, almost like Broadway matinees
Right,
and
right,
stuff
right,
like
yeah.
that. So you had like a Wednesday
Show
show
at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so we had a 3 o'clock show at like a private club or something like that. Then you'd go that same night and do a Coliseum. Then you get on a bus, you do the same thing, a Coliseum somewhere else. You might do a private event at a club somewhere, and then the next day, and it was just one of those things. But it was a beat down, man, because like I said, we were still not at that level yet.
How old are you at this point?
22 maybe.
And you were complaining about being tired?
No, I wasn't tired. No, you know
Like,
what?
actually, you beat up.
It
It was
wasn't.
like-
It wasn't tired. Like we loved it.
You're
I
like,
loved it.
I'm so
The
tired.
no,
I'm
we
making-
loved it. What tires you out on tour is the rides, the bus rides, the planes, having to get up early and being at the airport. All of
You're
that
still
stuff
lugging
kills
your
you.
bag at this point, so you
Oh,
grab
yeah.
your own stuff.
We're grabbing our own stuff. We're not in first class just yet, so we're still sitting in the back. People are smoking. At that time, you could smoke in an airplane.
Yeah.
So it was just, one of those things. But we didn't care. We were just traveling. So we were like young kids traveling the world. We didn't care. So we did Venezuela. I think I told you that we had to stop the tour because at that time we were nominated for an award.
Right, and then you had to come
So
back to Miami.
We went to Miami. We did
Lucky
this
Gloria
thing.
Estefan wasn't doing
Right,
rap, otherwise
so
you
we
would have
did
lost that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was basically like
Thanks, Gloria.
We weren't expecting to
Thank you.
win
'Cause she's
so,
listening.
yeah, she's listening. It was actually her husband's birthday the other day. I sent him a quick shout out. He sent me a text
And
back.
he was
I
like,
"Oh, shit."
who's this?
No, he actually. I'll show you the text. It's there.
No,
So what happened? So we didn't think we were gonna win.
Right.
So when we won, we were like, shit, we gotta celebrate. But we
Yeah.
had a show the next day. We were literally flying out like at 6 a.m.
What time
Yeah.
was the show? When
It
you
was at 8 o'clock, but it was like 8 o'clock at night. But the thing was, we were traveling to, like, the thing was with Venezuela, like, not a lot of these towns have big airports. So a lot of times you would have to fly into like the main airport in Venezuela,
Then fly out
and then
to
maybe
another
take a bus from there,
bus.
several like hours, So and then the ones that you do have the plane, we were traveling with a band, and they were little planes, like I'm telling La Bamba stuff. So we had to have the whole group with the band, and we couldn't because the equipment and all that
with
stuff.
the chickens they were bringing to
They
the
were
next
bringing
town.
a cool. They was, what the?
He's like, what you gotta eat? It's the chicken.
It's the chicken. What do you have for drinking?
The
Eggs,
chicken.
you get scrambled
Yeah,
eggs.
we
We make a
scram-
punch.
We'll scramble your egg.
we do a Rocky. Drink no, but So we did that whole Venezuela thing. We partied hard that night.
Right.
Like we literally we couldn't really do much, so we just partied in our rooms and we celebrated. We're like, oh, crazy. Got a little drunk. Then to catch a flight 6 a.m, get to the place, take this long ass ride on a bus to do the show that night, which was like, it was so hard to do the show because we were still running on that energy from the winning the.
We were like, we don't need to do this. We just won an award.
We don't. What the hell? Skip the show. Skip the town.
Forget this. You guys, I love you, but no.
No, not tonight.
No.
Thank you. Whatever town we're in, yeah. So we finished the show.
Whatever
We finished the tour in Venezuela, which was cool. Actually, by the end of the tour, we started to see the difference in how they were treating us and how like it went from like literally like me and Eric, which was the other guy in the group. we used to share a room, and then Magic and the other guy Nelson used to share a room.
But they also knew each other.
They knew
first
each other
and
from
then
before,
so-
but either way, the promoters weren't paying to have you in an individual suite.
yet,
you know?
but I mean,
but towards the end of that trip,
it started to spread out.
It started. Was like, okay, here's a key. Like we weren't expecting it. So the funny thing was, the guy gives me a key. He gives Eric a key, and I'm like, yo, they gave us 2 keys, but no, I got a different room, dude. Like, what? Oh shit, we're
got
moving
my
on up.
own
Yeah,
room.
nice.
Shit.
And
we are now VIP.
And I'm hoping, you know, maybe Eric can call in later on, because Eric is the worst person to share a room with, dude.
I have a question. Does
Yeah.
he snore?
No, it's not that he snores.
Oh, because when Sean sleeps on his back, his mouth opens up and he sucks worlds. Yeah, he sucks inside. And you're
afraid,
wonder-
like, you think he's gonna die, choke?
Yeah, like you lift your foot up and he's just sucking the shoe right off of it.
Like a vacuum.
You can't walk out the door. The towel comes off.
No,
yeah.
my problem with Eric is that Eric is a morning person, and I wasn't.
You wanna sleep
I was
late. He's like, let's go,
So
let's go,
Eric
let's
is
go.
the type of dude, he'd get up early, open the windows, and he'd always pick the bed next to the window so that he could purposely open the curtains. So it was like 7 in the morning, ram, and he's dancing it. So I would mess him up because I'm a night guy. So at nighttime when he's ready to go to sleep, I'm like, oh no, bro, you ain't going to sleep. I turn on the radio, turn on the TV, turn that shit off. So it was one of those things for a while, and then when we finally separated and got our own rooms, it was like, oh.
He was like, so happy to
Dude,
get out. I want to
like-
make
it was-
sweet music with you.
It was great.
But I don't want to be around.
But that
you at
didn't
night.
last long.
Oh.
Because now we're getting on a plane and we're going to the next town. The next country was Peru. Now in Peru,
It's very.
it was like all over again.
Okay.
Because now the group is like I said, it was in like a
Now,
delayed
you
reaction.
got known, but not in Peru.
So
Nobody
in
knows
Peru,
you.
we just started getting a buzz, and the first thing we did was a TV show that was like the equivalent of doing like Salgado Gigante type of thing.
Oh, because obviously
and
you
Oprah.
know that I know.
Yeah, I know. Salgado Gigante.
Salgado Gigante.
And Don Francisco, remember Don Francisco?
Don Francisco.
Buenas noches, señores. Aquí está Don Francisco. That guy.
I thought it was a little bit whinier than that.
No, él habla así, señores. You know, he's one of those like nasally guys. But anyway, we go to Peru, and so it's kind of like we're back. Oh shit, I gotta share a room with you again. Like it was one of those things again. And we did a 15-show tour. And again, what we would do is like, you know, sometimes Wednesdays, except that when we got to the capital, everything is backwards. So this was in the middle of July. I remember I was watching the NBA. It was the Knicks. When the Knicks was
got
going
the
on,
Knicks
that was
in
the
Peru?
same. Yeah. Well, we got cable on some of the rooms, and we were watching the Knicks play. We were watching the Rangers play when they won. That's when they won the cup.
Hockey in Peru.
Yeah,
I'd love to
hockey
see
in
that. I'd love to
Peru.
really
So,
see a
yeah.
hockey team
So,
in Peru.
nobody watches it, but we were. You got to remember, a lot of people in these hotels are from out of
These
state.
tourists. Yeah,
so
right.
you get to see
Give
some
them
of that
something to
stuff.
throw their way.
Right. So at
Keep 'em
that
in
time,
there.
all that stuff was going on in Peru.
You all right, Mike?
Hockey in Peru, dude.
Hockey.
So
I'm
it
half
was.
Peruvian and half you know, and half
You
Puerto
are?
Rican. Yeah,
Chipun,
I
Chipun, Callao.
I still haven't gone over there. But
No. Peru is no. Let me tell you, Peru is beautiful. Peru, you can go from like cold weather to hot weather in one.
We could go up the mountains, though.
You can go to the mountains.
Right.
I did doing like sandboarding, dude. Like it was like straight up in the desert doing sandboarding, riding horses, and then all of a sudden we're like in this cold ass place where you're wearing jackets and scarves, and you had to go buy gloves and all because it was really cold. And then we go to like the jungles, the Amazon, the Congo rivers right there. We got to like travel on the Congo River. And the guy's like, "Oh, look, there's
stick your hand in the water,
No,
see what happens."
Well, that's what he says. There's piranha. The thing is infested with piranhas. We're like, no, it's not. He throws like a little piece of something, and all of a sudden, we're like, oh shit!
Yeah,
We just want to get off. But
you want to put your feet in the water?
no. And my room at that time, they actually gave us rooms separately only because the hotel didn't have like 2 beds in the room. It was all like
Okay.
suites, like not suites, but just 1 bed each. Dude, my room. You ever see that? Was it Expedia commercial where the guys get a room and it's like when they turn on the lights, there's bugs and all that shit.
Yeah.
My room in that place.
How big were the bugs?
Huge.
I could imagine.
Dude,
that.
it was
Like a bug a couple of bugs are gonna shake you
Dude,
down.
I didn't want to turn off the light after a while. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, I'm gonna have to
Every
see
time
that.
you turn off the lights back on, the
There's a
bug's
bug
getting
like,
a little
"I'm here."
closer.
Yeah.
He's like,
turn it off. He's like,
"Hola."
that reminds me of
He's
my,
like,
my
I'm
first
here.
night in DR. My first night
You
in DR
scared?
was like that. What? I don't do bugs.
I don't do bugs. Dude,
Because
it
they're
was-
not
it
regular
was-
bugs. Those are the kind
No,
that
it's,
like
it's you had
give you
everything.
an infection and
you had everything. I had lizards in my room. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
nah.
But it was in, we were in a place called Iquitos, which is, it's the jungles. It's like the Amazons. You're out there. And we did a show out there, and it was freaking hot, man. We did the show and the lights, and, if it was let's say if it was 90 degrees
Plus
on
hot
stage.
lamps.
On stage, it's like 100 and something, and you're just sweating, and you're just almost like you can't even breathe. That's how hot
You
it
get
was.
so thirsty, you just drink off your face.
And and then the guys back, like some of the like a crew would mess with us. They would literally mess with us. They would take bottles of water, empty them out, and put aguardiente in it. So we're like, oh, come on, and
so
you're like,
good,
oh,
so dry and
it's
so
hot.
hot.
They would do that, and we would get them back and do stuff.
But see,
for
like
them.
you could go in there hungover, sweat it out, and do it all over again.
Do it all over again within the show, dude. Like,
Yeah,
you're
you're like,
back
hey.
to new. So we did that tour. That tour actually was good. We got to do some, because the thing with that place was that we had shows only on the weekends. So then we had literally
So
to, like,
lucky enough that everything.
so
you did
we were
was-
like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We would fly back to the capital. Now everything is backwards. So like when it's summer here, it's cold over there. And we were in Peru, in the capital, in Lima, and dude, it was cold. There was nothing to do. It was like London. Every day was like cloudy and gray and just cold. And I remember one point. I don't know if I told you this story, but I remember at one point I was so. The guys, we didn't have nothing to do for like 4 or 5 days. So they would just buy liquor and lock themselves up in a room and drink, and we were like Beastie Boys on tour. It was like the Latino version of Eric would break. I remember one point Eric was so bored, he grabbed an extinguisher from the hallway, and just turned it on, right? And there's smoke everywhere in the freaking floor. And then I don't know what happened, but the security comes up and like, listen, guys, we know you get it. No, it wasn't us. Yeah, we know it's you because you're the only guys on this floor.
You can't blame it on anyone else.
You can't.
It's just you.
They purposely. We didn't know that.
They were like, these guys are gonna be trouble.
Yeah.
Just give them a floor.
I swear to God,
don't
dude.
book anyone else on them.
He was trying to say, no, it wasn't us. It was probably somebody.
They
No.
probably do that to all celebrities, like
They
so that way
said-
they can catch them out there.
They said, Senor, no. You're the only guys on this floor. We're like, fuck. So you have to clean it up. So these guys were getting to a point. I was just getting bored, right? I was like, drinking. It was just bored for me, and I really wasn't a drinker like that. So I decide, smart me, that I'm gonna go into town by myself, no security, no cab, no nothing, just walk and catch a movie. Like I wanted to go see a movie. That's how bored I was. And
Such the celebrity that
I'm
it needs to
homesick.
be incognito.
dude, and that's how it
To
was.
go.
So this is what happens. I
You
go
put on a
downstairs-
hat and glasses.
I go down.
That's the celebrity
dude,
go-to.
I go down to the lobby and I asked the guy, the concierge. He knew who we were, obviously. So I go, listen, man, where's the closest movie theater? He's like, oh, it's like 4 blocks. But you don't want to go alone. Like everybody knows who you are here. Like people started to know who we were. So I'm like, I can't do that. I need to get out. Okay, well, let me call you a cab. No, I just want to walk. If it's 4 blocks, it's closed. Yeah, it's closed, but you can't go out there like that. I'm like, listen. I put on a hat. I put on remember, it's cold.
Right.
I put on a scarf. I went out
Celebrity disguise.
there. Dude, I
yeah.
walked to the movie theater. And I went to see Beverly Hills Cop 3. Which
Of
was
all the movies you could see,
that
of
was
all
the only
the
one that
movies you
was,
could see.
but that's the only good one
Right.
they had at the time. So
I
I'm
mean,
like,
I can
Eddie
understand
Murphy.
why we put part 3 in Peru. We knew nobody here was going to watch it. So
we knew it. So I'm
it was
like, all right, Eddie Murphy, let me go
That's
watch
celebrity Peru premiere.
it. Dude,
So go ahead, sorry,
I go to the theater,
Uh.
I buy popcorn, and I'm doing this all on the down low. Like I'm waiting for everybody to get in the theater, and I'm waiting for the movie to kind of start before I can actually go and get a seat. So I see the lights go out, then I go in and I grab the first row, like in the back, all the way in the back. And I'm chilling there just watching the movie. Maybe like an hour later, all the lights come on, right? All the lights come on.
Movie still playing.
No, everything stops and the lights come on. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like going like this high.
They're going to recognize me.
No. Yeah, I thought that
That's what I
because,
like, you're like,
because
Because obviously you're the celebrity,
you know-
and that's what they're going to do.
you know what it was? It was an intermission.
So they take a break.
They take a break, like
gets-
if it's a Broadway show. So I'm like, oh man. So I'm sitting there.
Because to them that is.
I'm like literally.
They're like, they're walking by him.
they're
like,
walking by me
What
like,
the fuck is the matter with this
it's
guy?
hot in here. Why is this guy okay?
Yeah, you all right, man? You got a cold?
Listen, man. Long story short, when the movie finished, I try to be the first one out. People recognize me to the point where
Because you were rushing, like
Yeah,
you were forcing
yeah, I was
it.
trying
Like
to
if you
hurry up.
just chilled out, like
I was getting nervous. I was by myself.
yeah.
So I was getting nervous. I wound up running for like the first 2 blocks.
Oh, that's great.
And it started off with maybe like 30 people following, and it was little by little just faded
It's
out.
that
Like,
Rocky. They were chasing for them. They were
I used
chasing the
my
Latino
speed, dude.
Rocky.
I was running like it was like I'm getting jumped. That's how I was. That was like. Shh. Anyway, I made it to the hotel. We finished doing the tour. After we finished Peru, which was it was a crazy tour.
So Peru, how far into the tour is Peru? Halfway,
Peru
a little
is
bit more than
is
halfway.
almost the end.
Okay, so
It's
close to
almost
it.
the end because what happens is after Peru, we come home for like a week, and then we do another month tour in Ecuador.
Oh.
So
whole tour in
so
Ecuador.
a whole tour in Ecuador. So by the time we left it was I want to say April, and I got back home almost right after Thanksgiving, December around there, like right before that, and that was probably the longest one. it was a beat down.
Well, you said like 6 months. That's
I
a long
lost
time.
I lost about 15 pounds maybe, just because you're so like moving and you kind of like try to eat on the run and just in
and
your
you're not even
shows
getting
and,
a full meal, and
Yeah,
and,
and
then
you're doing-
obviously you guys drinking.
and then you're doing 2-hour shows.
And you were in Peru. You didn't think to like hit for the white powder.
We didn't think
I
about
need to do 2 shows.
no,
in a row,
no,
like,
no. And that's one. No, thank God for us, we never did that stuff.
No,
like
that's
we was just.
I'm
it was just
glad
straight
that
up liquor.
this is not an episode of how.
No, it's not one of those.
Like when Proyecto Uno went
And then the music stopped.
And the music stopped. And everybody's bio was like everything was good until February 15th, 1996. We did coke, and then you're like, this is where it's
And
good.
this way gets better. No,
I still do it, and I'm okay. All right, guys.
But I had to nah. Thank God we didn't get to that point. We never really got as a group. We never did that. We just basically was just drinking, partying, but we never went to that extreme. It was just it wasn't in our nature. We weren't brought up that way.
Well, that's
you know?
good. Yeah, but you don't have to be brought up that
Yeah,
way.
it's
for
true.
it.
You get the peer pressure. And
You
get,
got like dudes trying stuff out.
all
you
the
know
time.
what I mean?
I mean, we
And,
hung out with artists and toured with artists, and at the beginning of the day, you would see them fresh, and then after the show, you would see them like, hey man, it was like wow, like
You're
you
like,
see the difference.
the
Hardcore,
crash,
like,
the crash.
hardcore, bro. And I was like, nah, we're not doing that.
When you see those those movies or the documentaries on it, and like, for example, like Motley Crue,
Yeah.
the Ozzy Osbourne, you hear the story, then you read the book, and then when they kind of like put the book to characters, right,
To
and
a
they
mo-
make
right,
the movie,
right.
and you're like,
It's
is that
crazy.
yeah, it's crazy.
It's
Like the
crazy.
story is that they were so wasted and so did so much coke, and they were by the pool.
I
And
seen that,
Ozzy
yeah.
goes, I'm going to do this line. You're going to do that line of ants? We
Yeah,
dare
yeah,
you. And
yeah.
he
just
snorts
did
a
it.
line of ants.
Yeah, it's see stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure there's some crazy
I don't
stories,
care how
but
messed up I've ever been. The last thing I was looking at ants was like, all right,
Dude.
this is...
I mean, we have crazy stories,
This
but
could
not
sniff this.
no crazy drug stories.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of crazy stories that happen with us and on tour.
So
and-
what so far has been on that tour, the tours after that, as Proyecto Uno,
Yeah.
what has been the best city that you ever went? Like, the least trouble, but the best. Like,
it's hard, and I don't want to get in trouble and say that the other
one's
ones
better
aren't.
than the yeah, 'cause they're gonna
but,
be
but-
when they get back to your show, they're going to be like, so...
oh, so this place
You
don't
like
us, huh?
Colombia over Peru?
But I
To
gotta
be
be
said.
honest, there were several places, but one place that always stuck to us was Colombia,
Okay.
specifically Medellin, Colombia.
Medellin.
We're Caribbean, we're Caribbean, and the people of Medellin, Colombia, even though they're nowhere near the water.
Right.
They're so like they're like us. They're Caribbean. They party. They may not have $5 to do this, but they have the money for the liquor. They have the money to have a good time. It's just they know how to have fun. And besides the food is delicious, all the women are beautiful, the people are beautiful. The people of Medellin, they welcomed us with
Say
open
heart
arms.
and heart and soul kind
Dude,
of
it
people.
came to a point where we were actually thinking about buying a place there, like having.
I could see the Proyecto Uno mansion in
right there, Medellin.
Medellin.
But no, Medellin is one of those
MTV
places.
Cribs.
Well, that's my cow in the
Yeah.
back over there.
Those
my
are the
horses.
hippos I bought from Pablo Escobar. Escobar.
Esco. No, but Colombia was always nice. But then the first place to open their like arms to us was actually Ecuador. Ecuador was the first place the group went to where we needed a passport. Like that was the first place that in South America, because at that time, even though I wasn't in the group was traveling to like they went to Spain. They went to.
Did you tour in Spain?
Yeah. We did a lot of tours.
It's
in
got to be
Spain.
amazing. Right?
It's beautiful, man. And
is it
again,
commercial, or is it just?
Well, there was so many places in Spain that we went to, but you got to remember we're touring, so it's like you go see places and it's maybe an hour, and then you're like back.
Bits and
All I know,
pieces
you
of
can tell
it.
me, what do you know? I know the airport, I know the radio stations, I know
I know the hotel. I
the
know
hotel.
I know the receptionist.
The receptionist, the concierge, you be
Yeah.
hooking me up where to go.
I know
But-
the people that take care of me.
Yeah. You need to know, and you need to hook them up.
Yeah. So,
but places like that. But at the time, the group went to Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and then the States, and then Spain. And then Ecuador was that first place that opened up the doors in South America. And basically from Ecuador, it just went everywhere else in South America. We traveled to as far down as Chile, Argentina, Bolivia. We went all the way through Central America, Costa Rica. Costa Rica, beautiful place, by the way. I used to go there so much, and I was like, man, I got to come here on vacation. I need to.
to
And
just
I actually-
really appreciate and enjoy
yeah,
every
and I actually
how
got
beautiful it
the
really is.
chance to go for like 10 days to Costa Rica, which was beautiful. All that crazy stuff that you do, the jungles, it's beautiful. Costa Rica is beautiful, dude.
Like all the things you do in the jungle. Some people disappear.
Some people disappear, some don't come
Some
back.
and
There's some people out
but
there
it's
still.
okay. We have
Some-
somebody else to replace
Some people
them.
don't come back because they don't want.
Yeah.
Some don't come back because
Because
they
I
course
don't
not.
want to. Somebody else don't want them to.
But yeah, a lot of beautiful places like that. But I would definitely, for me, I don't know about the other guys, but for me, I think Colombia was a place that really just, I have a lot of appreciation. I have a lot of love for Colombia, just because they were like the fans were really into the group. Not just the group itself, like physically, they were into the songs. They knew everything about us.
And
like,
the people, like you said, like that's like minor league baseball, right? Like you have some of these towns where they have the AAA team or the AA team,
right?
And there are fans that know so much about
those
guys.
Right.
Like we have an old friend, obviously from Flushing, Pete Turkovich. Right. Long time ago, I would run into him randomly.
Yeah.
And when he's pitching the minor leagues, and he goes, he's going, and he's at the game, and he's signing autographs, and some young lady comes up to him and she gives him his whole bio, like, so from Flushing, Flushing, and he's weirded out by it, but they have this whole bio similar to that. Like
it's
they just
a lot like that. Oh, I know you.
They
I
have your trading card.
Yeah, like you were born in Rockaway, Queens. I'm like, you know Rockaway, Queens? We're in
they're like,
Colombia.
no, I know you're from there. I know how to get you.
and then they have gifts. Like that's another thing. They have gifts. I made this for you. I still have some of that stuff. Like I have some of that stuff put away, like bracelets. I had one in particular, which is like one of those sob story moments, and it was one of those that I will never forget. I sang a song in one of our albums called Cruzando la Calle, Crossing the Street, and it's basically about a guy who sees a girl every day and wants to talk to her but never has the guts to go and talk to her. And so this girl comes to me and she's crying. So I'm thinking, wow, this is one of those fans where she's like, oh my God. So she says, oh, you don't understand. I've been wanting to meet you like forever, this and that. I love your song, Cruzando la Calle. And I'm like, oh, thank you. So I'm like, okay, thank you.
I'm going to touch you. I'm going to give you a hug.
I'm giving you a hug.
Which you can't do now. But
now she goes, that was a song that my boyfriend used to sing to me all the time. Right? So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like,
go ahead.
I'm like, okay, all right, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Does he sing good? Well, he's not with us anymore.
Oh. He wasn't. He didn't sing the song the way you sang it, and she offed him.
No. The thing was, and then she tells me the story, and I was just like, dude, I was trying.
You just started crying.
I was trying to hold it in.
Oh, she got you emotional.
Yeah, because the story was that he was killed in a car accident.
Great.
So
here I am making a fucking joke about it. Thanks, thanks, Johnny.
I didn't know either. I didn't know where it was going. I didn't know where it was going.
Obviously,
right?
I should have just waited. I should have just taken a breather.
That's all right. If Sean was here, he would have cut you off.
Yeah, I would never have gotten any of those ones. Like, patty cake, my bad.
So she tells me, he died in a car accident, and he had been singing the song. The cassette was in the car.
Get the fuck out of here.
And I'm just like, and there I just,
you're like, I can never sing this song again.
I could never. And it happened that same night. I had to sing the song. It was really hard for me to sing it. She was in the audience because we got her tickets. Obviously,
could you sing this for me?
She gave me the bracelet, which I still have. It's a black and white bracelet. But we used to get a lot of gifts. I have a dude that used to do puppets and made a puppet, like a foam puppet.
He showed up and he was Tico Tico.
So he made I still have it. He made a foam puppet of me. And I was just like,
just got creepy, man.
Yeah, but it was, and actually
that dude's in the crowd. His hand lifts up.
Well, you know what happened?
It
was like some girl told him to do it, and so he was like, "This is from Fulana de Tal," and she said to give this to you. And I'm like, okay. And I got this puppet in my house that says Johnnie. Is a bunch of stuff that we have, but again, Colombia was one of those places where open arms, like they knew everything about us and. They knew who our parents were. Like they know who your dad. Oh, your dad is this, and he's a Beatles fan. I'm like, holy shit! Like they watch interviews.
Yeah, that was the weird
stuff
stuff that he was saying. It's like because they want to have that information. Yeah. Not like in a stalker kind of way.
No, it's just
they just
like
want that
know.
information so they can be a part of you. They feel like there's a connection.
Exactly.
Which
I
understand.
I appreciate it, man. I'm totally cool with that. And
so it's like the good food. We'll say, what was the name of the song again?
Cruzando la Calle.
Right? Like, what was it? Crossing in the Street?
Crossing the Street. Yeah.
Right. So, and then the rap version of that is She Keeps on Passing Me By.
She keeps on pretty much.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
I like that. That was good. That's good. That's exactly.
See, I had to wait for you to finish.
So you can
Unlike ADD.
The guy down in the baseball game down in Florida.
Yeah.
We won't
Sometimes I'm just gonna.
I gotta. Yeah, but that's Cruzando la Calle was, and it was a song written by. The cool thing about that song is that it's a ballad, right? It's a ballad. It's like a acoustic ballad, but it was written by the rapper of the group. It was written by the guy that's used to writing all the hard stuff in the group, and he wrote the song. He says, "I got a song for you. I obviously can't do it. I could sing," and then he gave me the demo, and it sounded good. It was him singing. But
Okay.
at that time, it wasn't like the Drakes of today, where the rappers really didn't throw down singing.
Drake,
You know?
come
So,
on.
well, you know, because
I
he's
know.
a
I
rapper
mean, that's
slash
correct.
singer or whatever. But
Drake is like LL Cool J without being able to fight.
like, please don't hurt me.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
love you.
my people are gonna beat you up, and LL's licking his lips, going, "I'm gonna
kick your ass.
beat the shit out of you."
So it was one of those songs, man. It was a good song. You know,
So
to
the
this day.
like, yeah, I had these questions like,
Yeah.
what's the best like food and the best
Food, bandeja paisa,
scene-
Medellin.
Medellin.
Bandeja paisa.
the
That's
best scenery, the best scene that you ever been at. Also,
the best scenery.
the
I
most
would,
beautiful.
dude. There was so many, but in Peru.
Peru is the best.
Peru, we had, I mean, like I said, we went from the desert all the way to like, you know, to the jungles. We went to the mountains. I got on a plane where you could actually see, there's a place called, I think it's Tasca, I don't know, Nazca, Las Líneas de Nazca, which is basically
Nazca, yeah, I heard
Nazca,
about
right?
that.
It's some lines that you could only see when you're up
From
in the
the
airplane.
sky.
In the sky.
Oh, wow.
And it's figures of animals, and they're huge. Like, it's really big. And then, you know, the thing is that it said that how were they made if at that time they didn't have, you know, there were no
Right.
balloons to
They
get
were
up.
standing on each other's
and
shoulders.
aerials,
Right.
yeah.
Somebody's
And-
looking over and going,
yeah.
"All right, no, that's not
When you-
ears. That's not ears.
No,
Cut that better."
No, and
Again.
everything is perfect. Like, all the circles are perfect. Everything, all the angles are perfect. Now, the crazy thing about it is that whenever they did anything that had hands, it was always 4 fingers, not 5. So that's when they say maybe it's an alien thing or whatever. And then when you're
They
standing,
were the 4 horsemen that did
it was probably the 4 horsemen.
the
It
4
probably
horsemen,
was.
they came down. They
They
say,
came down. They said, "Watch
"You
this."
can't use your
poof.
thumbs."
You
No-
can't use
no
no
thumb,
thumbs
no
because they don't
thumb.
count. They're too stubby. But you know, but the crazy thing about this is when you're standing on the ground and you're standing next to those lines are like 6 feet deep.
Wow.
So it's so I was able to get on a plane. I got a certificate. I was able to get on a plane, and it takes you out there. And again, Mr. Eric, because Eric is he's a dude. Everything that happens is crazy. It
It's
happens to
because
Eric.
he was
So
there.
Yeah. So Eric we had a disposable camera.
I was
right?
just gonna say, who had the camera?
Because I didn't want to take my camera. I always traveled. I was like the tourist guy. I was always the one with the camera. I have pictures. I have like stuff from like when I first started to like, you know, the end.
Right.
But in this, I didn't want to take that with me on a plane. I was just like, I don't want to travel. I don't know where I'm at. You know, I just put it in a locker and I put it in a.
How many people do I have to fight to keep this?
So I was like, so Eric, buy a disposable. So we went down to the lobby of the hotel, bought a disposable. Right, exactly. So we take all these great pictures, dude. We take pictures of us horseback riding in the desert, you know, sandboarding, all that stuff. We get on a plane. We're taking pictures of the lines. We get back, and Mr. Eric decides that, wait, there's still a few pictures left. I'm like, no, it's done already. Well, let me make sure. Pops it open.
oh no.
Pops it open. I'm
That's
like,
it.
what are you doing? I covered him with a
Gone.
blanket.
You
I
covered
saved
him with
I,
the blanket.
I did. I was like,
trying to block all the
yeah,
light.
I was like, God,
we're
what
gonna
are you
save
doing?
these.
He's like, what are you doing?
Save them.
Dude, we saved out of, I think it was think of like 30 pictures or whatever it
Used
was.
to be like 36 or something like that.
We saved about 6.
Oh.
And the
And
funny
they were
thing-
like the first 2 when there was nothing in the
and
last
it was
2.
it was the first 2, like when we got to the airport and I'm standing next to the plane, so I take a picture. You know, I'm a big airplane guy, so I
Right.
take a picture of the plane, and that's the only picture I have. Everything else just went to hell, dude. Everything. I was like, and he was known to do.
Eric.
Yeah, he was known to do stuff like that, man. Eric was always known to like mess up and like, oh, what are you doing now? Like,
Yeah.
if anything happened, it happened to Eric.
Yeah, like when we were younger, like if you would hear something in another room fall and break,
Yeah.
and it was because Sean was clumsy. It still is, but you would just go,
Well,
like,
that
Sean,
was-
what the fuck did you do?
that-
and he'd
that
be
was
like,
Eric.
nothing, and you would hear him sweeping or cleaning something up. Nothing, I didn't do anything. And like, yeah.
Well, you want to know? In this album we did called New Era, which is where Cruzando la Calle is. We did the album called New Era. We did some skits, so there's skits in between the songs. And every time we did a skit, like what we did was we finished the album ready, everything was ready to go, but we needed to record these skits. So we locked ourselves up in the studio, like about this size, turned on the mic, and had like 2 or 3 bottles of Bacardi. This was our drink. Our drink on tour, and it's actually on the cover of a record. It's actually written down, was a Bacarona. The Bacarona was half Bacardi Limon and a Corona. So we would that was our drink all the time. So we even included it on our tours, all that stuff. On our writers at one point, we're like, we need Bacaronas.
I feel like somebody introduced that in our neighborhood and
It didn't
took
work?
credit. Right? No, like took credit for it, and it was
Yeah.
probably like
Eh.
I got it from.
They
They probably got it from you,
me, right? So
And they're like, oh, I just got this new drink.
yeah, so we had the Bacarona. So what we did was we closed ourselves up in the studio and we started drinking and just started talking. Just started, saying funny
could
shit.
be voices.
Right.
like-
And then we started looking at the album and kind of looking at the songs and what the songs were about, and then we would make skits out of that. We make funny ass skits. If you listen to the skits, whenever you guys listening right now, if you ever go like YouTube or whatever it is you got, and you check out New Era and you listen to the whole CD and you listen to the skits, a lot of the skits, if there's about 10 of them, let's say, at least 7 of them, we're shutting Eric up. Like the skit is going on. Eric, shut, stop, like stop.
God, just shut the-
it's the
Sounds
funniest.
familiar. And where was that?
Where is that guy?
Where,
Johnnie.
where would that be where I had to tell somebody to shut the
I don't know.
fuck up?
The same guy that you have to tell him to keep your hand on the other
Yeah,
side.
well, that too. I mean, it's just keep your hands out of my face and shut your mouth.
So
No.
yeah, so you know, we had a lot of fun, man. That's all. At the end of the day, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun touring.
It just sounds that way. Like you don't
It is.
you don't speak about anything with a little bit of like attitude or animosity or
Nah,
like
it was
like
it
everything that I mean, you're a very calm guy. It
Yeah.
seems like it takes a lot to get you pissed off anyway.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when in regards to that, like your
Nah,
first career
it was.
and your
I
second
mean, there was
career,
times where I got pissed off. There was times where guys would do shit. I'm
I
like,
can imagine, but I
but
think
I
of you as
still-
pissed off, like hitting somebody so hard that you apologize right after
right
you
after, yo, I'm
immediately.
sorry, I hit you.
Boom, you
Sorry
piece
for the
of-
black
I'm
eye.
sorry, I didn't mean to do
Well,
that.
I remember one time I did that. We were having like this war. I don't know how. I don't remember how it started, but we were all in different rooms, right? So what we were doing was sticking our heads out the door and like down the halls, sticking our head out the doors and throwing food at each other, right? And so then I'm baseball dude. So I'm not throwing. They're throwing, but I'm not throwing. I'm just timing the heads. So
Count.
counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
He's
3.
got a delay.
Dude, when he stuck his, I think it was Magic. When he stuck his head in, I threw, and he came out. Boom! Caught him right in the eye. I was like, oh shit! I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean it. But they were the
wasn't
ones
mad,
they were
right.
starting at me. Like they were
Right,
throwing
right.
at me, and
They
I'm
were
like,
hoping to hit you, and here you are
I hit him
apologizing.
one
for
shot, bro. And I was like, yo, I'm sorry, man. I felt bad because his eye got red. I was like, but stuff like that. But I rarely got pissed off. It was a lot of fun, man. It was really 4 dudes. Like I said, we were just 4 guys traveling the world, doing stuff that we didn't take for granted. We knew what it was. We knew we were lucky to be in that position. We knew that this doesn't happen every day. So we had fun with it, man. We rolled with it. We totally ran with it. We used to sign every autograph. The way you were telling, like the way I walk in and say hi to everybody. We were like that. We would not leave until the last autograph was signed, last picture was taken. It was one of those things because
There's a few people like that. It's not a lot of people that will do that.
No.
From beginning to end.
that's
to
true. And then the
people.
security's always grab them away, but that's really them
Yeah.
telling them to grab.
Yeah.
Tell the guy, come on, I can't be the bad guy. You got to be the
Yeah,
bad guy.
yeah. It's you. They flip a coin. They're like, all right, I
Go
got
get
this.
him.
Get
So
your boy.
It's pretty cool, but it was definitely a lot of fun. I love traveling. We were traveling the world. We were meeting different, seeing different cultures. I was seeing places that I always used to read about in social studies. The Panama Canal. Things like that. It was like, wow,
It's really in Panama.
yeah, it's really there.
It's
like
really
wow,
here.
it's
This is great.
We
Cool
got to
business.
watch the whole process of like
Well,
how the
when it
water
was-
goes up, how the water goes down. I mean, it was just the dopest thing, and I was like, wow, I was still kind of young, just absorbing everything. And my father would say, enjoy it because it's not always gonna last. It
Right.
might not be forever. So that's what I did. I enjoyed every second of it until there was no more. But
Well, what did we talk about? That thing about
Roberto
They-
Giambi Garcia writes,
what's up?
why did we kill Pepe Le Pew? Damn gringos.
I was going to get to that at some point, but thank you
Yeah.
for showing up. Here's this is the cancel culture right here,
This is
right? Cancel culture just canceled on the skunk, right? Now I got to say this in his defense, right? For 75 years, he's been chasing the same
cat.
pussy for 75 years. He isn't going anywhere else. He wasn't looking at any other. He was only looking for one. And we caught, and then somebody went out like that's. I mean, obviously to mock it, you have to mock it the best you can. You go, that is rape culture. That's a Sean for you. It's rape culture. I can't believe it. But they did that, right?
Yeah.
And they canceled this skunk motherfucker, right?
Same thing with Miss Piggy. She's next.
Yeah, but
Pushing
she
herself
was,
up
yeah,
on
but she
Army.
was. But listen, Miss Piggy, if you're
Miss
talking
Pi-
about rape culture, she was trying to
the reverse.
She's the reverse.
In
It's
reverse.
her. Ain't nobody trying to do it to her.
Kermit was always in
Yeah, Kermit was like, somebody save me. Ah! And she's like, no, Kermit, here I come. I'm coming to get you, Kermit.
Hey guys, help me.
Ah!
Fozzie, come here. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
and they were like, no, it's not gonna
waka,
happen.
waka.
Not gonna happen. No, waka waka. Yeah, they killed the snake.
Everything, man. Mr.
skunk.
Potato Head, you can't call him Mr. Potato Head
Yeah,
now,
but look,
right?
didn't you? If you had all the pieces of Mr. Potato Head, did you put like hit the
You
Mrs.
switch it
Potato Head
around.
lips, right? So he was both, or like you're not really stopping anything, you know.
Yeah, listen.
Mr.
What-
Potato
what's
Head
next?
was the original transgender.
He was the first one.
He was the first
He's the
transgender
first
doll.
one. He's the
Because
first one.
anybody who had their hands on it was like
Switch,
lips,
switch,
breast,
switch.
female hat, eyelashes. You're like, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had one man arm, one female arm, and he playing instruments.
One eyelash.
Like one eyelash. So yeah,
You know, I'm afraid to see what's next, man.
Oh,
I'm afraid to see what's next.
it's never. It's
The
never
fucking Slinky. Too
the Slinky,
long.
yeah.
It's too long.
You hear that song, Slinky, Slinky?
A
It's
wonderful,
fun for,
wonderul toy.
It's fun for a
Girl
girl,
and a boy? Oh,
no.
Stop it.
No.
It makes too. Listen, man. We what we should do is think of what's next before they actually do it. What do you think? What do you think is next?
I think He-Man. I think
He-Man?
He-Man is
Oh,
next.
yeah.
I think
Really?
just look
The
at his
name.
name.
The name.
He-Man.
He-Man.
He-Man. How come he's
He-Man.
He-Man?
She-woman.
Right,
No,
like
it's
look,
He-Man.
because they're like She-Ra.
Yeah.
Like all these
She-Ra.
characters they try
But
to
then
do.
you can say the same thing.
I think He-Man's next. I think
He-Man?
He-Man's gonna come out and it's gonna
Yeah.
be like transgender.
because he had the power.
Yeah, because he,
He had
the power. And so we don't like that anymore.
I have the power. You know
no,
what?
no, time out.
What?
Cancel this guy.
Cancel him. He's no-
Okay,
no.
let's go. You see in the cartoon, all
I
of a
don't
sudden the
have-
reel starts. He's out.
He's gone.
He-Man is out. We don't want a He-Man.
We don't want a He-Man.
We-
Why can we just call it? What do we call it?
Hey, man.
He said, "Hey,
He pulls
man."
out his sword and he's like,
Hey,
hey,
man."
Yeah, that's, I mean, Captain Caveman.
Yeah.
You-
Well, we are like, okay. Captain.
Well, Captain Caveman was a caveman.
Right, like,
Boom.
see, like,
They
like
having it.
Then I haven't. Yeah,
I think
he
it's
might
just
be next.
just anything that has the man at the end of it.
Is gone.
Like, yeah, you can't, like, what? Yeah, Captain
it's gonna
Cave-
be
no.
all the superheroes are gone then.
Well, no.
Superman.
Well, because we have
It's gonna be
Superwoman.
Super.
But we have Superwoman. We have Batman. We have Batwoman.
Can
we
we
have
I want to
Hulk.
know if we could get away with it in Spanish. Or are they gonna attack us in Spanish like Superman?
No, they have it.
Superman.
In Spanish,
Hey, you
I
guys
don't even think they're gonna
Superman?
do it. Like, why would they? They're actually.
Well, it's the
I
only
have
thing
a
they
whole
say
bunch
in
of
English when they say everything else in
Superman.
Spanish. Superman.
Ahí va, Superman.
I say-
Everything else is different, right? Superman, we know.
El hombre de la araña.
But listen, I have friends from like all over the place in South America and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh my God, really? Like you're canceling Pepe
Yeah.
Le Pew? Like why? Like they're like
Come
pissed
here,
off."
mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle.
I want to touch you. Only you.
And
How
the
many
poor
people
cat.
were really offended about him? Like,
I
mean,
just
you
thought,
know,
like,
the
I just
fact
think
that he threw himself on the cat, but like you said, it was just that one.
Yo, he didn't go after anyone. I mean, obviously it's a cartoon, but they didn't
It was
have
just
him
one.
divert his eyes to another cat. He had one.
I think Bugs Bunny's. Well, no, Bugs Bunny's not next because he plays every character.
Yeah, but Bugs Bunny is.
he is
both.
everything.
He's both.
He's everything.
You see when he puts on a dress?
Oh yeah, and he talks
Yeah.
like everything.
And
So
he
you're right.
talks
Yeah,
like-
Bugs Bunny's
Bunny's
safe. He's safe.
He's safe.
Bugs
Yeah.
is safe.
Daffy Duck might not be safe. Yeah, Donald. That's Donald.
That's Don. Oh my
That's
bad.
Donald. Yeah, different production.
Different whole. Yeah.
Totally
the whole
different
thing.
production. Donald didn't really speak English.
No, he just.
Daffy
Daffy was.
talks a lot of shit.
Duck Tigers in the 24th century.
Duck Dodgers. No, he's all right.
Yeah, but he'd get his beak blasted. That was the worst thing that would happen.
Yeah, he's good. He ain't going nowhere. He's not going nowhere.
Def-
You know what? We
and-
want to know from you.
Def-
Who do you think
yeah,
is going to be the next person?
Who do you think? We want to hear.
Yeah. 718-616-9971.
That's right.
Call us up. Call us up.
Give us a ring. Give us a buzz. So yeah. So I have a funny thing because a couple of weeks ago we were watching the Canelo fight at the same time.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And on that night, two guys were fighting at two different weight classes, and one guy's nickname was Slugger, and the last guy fighting, his nickname was Choco.
Choco, we were like, yo, we're fighting,
It
bro.
was
we're
like, yo,
fighting.
Slugger was that guy was, it was Slugger and Choco were fighting on
Slugger
that
and
night.
Choco. It was funny because he texted me. I'm like, yeah, I'm watching this.
You
It's
watched
crazy,
this,
dude.
man? I was like, yeah,
His
we were.
nickname was Slugger and the other one was Choco. Like,
I mean, at least your fighter with the nickname, he put up a fight.
put
to
up
the
a Slugger
very-
fight. He put up.
I
a little-
had Choco, and he just got
He just
destroyed.
He's like Choco.
I felt bad.
He became Choco Shake.
Yeah, he was
He was a Choco Shake.
chocolate punch, Choco punch.
Choco Punch.
He was
Nah, yeah,
Choco
well,
Punch La.
That was actually that was a good night actually. But that fight.
Well, that was a Canelo fight in the back.
Yeah.
Going boxing. I love boxing.
Yeah.
And it's hard because just recently it's like they're getting more fights and they constantly put these names out, right? HBO did it for a while. Showtime did it, and
Yeah.
ESPN is now doing it, and
Yeah.
DAZN. And there's some really great fights.
Yeah.
Like these are good fighters
Yeah,
that
yeah.
wouldn't get any publicity without this.
Right.
But they didn't. A lot of fighters, I don't think they trusted it yet to the zone because they didn't come up there. And then
Right.
when the floodgates opened, and was it Texas is fighting? They fought in Miami,
Yeah.
and so
The Miami fight was actually
Yeah,
man.
the
I thought it
Miami fight was
cool.
good.
I
Like,
thought it was cool.
and they put some fans in there, obviously, because
Yeah.
Florida's like, we don't care.
Yeah, we
Just-
don't care.
Just show up.
We're Florida.
But boxing is like, for a while, it's confusing because it's a lost art depending on the weight class, right? Like you
Yes.
watch it, if it's the middleweights, then the heavyweights are no good.
Right.
And if the heavyweights start to get good, then one of the superweights aren't that
The
good.
flyweights are the best, though.
The flyweights are
Those
the
guys
best.
just knock each other out too.
Well, like they're anywhere from 126 to like 140.
Yeah.
Those guys just throw
it's nonstop. dude.
punches. And if you get two
Nonstop.
Mexicans,
it's a wrap. They're
so-
going nonstop. Wasn't there a fight, the lightweight before that?
well, the lightweight.
I can't remember the names, but I just remember these two guys going at it. Oh man, who was it? I can't remember the guy's name. Or was that? Yeah, that was a Canelo card.
Well, yeah, that was so.
Yeah, 112, I think it was. The one,
yeah, that was
112.
the guys. Yeah, well, those. Yeah, they just the little stocky dude.
Yes. Yeah.
He
it
was like, well, that's the Choco.
That's
so
the Choco.
that's the Choco was hitting him up, and he got the fight like on 3 days' notice.
Right.
So he's skinny, no muscle tone. The guy he's fighting is the champion.
Right.
He's
He's
sculpted,
toned.
toned.
Yeah.
These guys are 4'6", 117 pounds,
Yeah,
like soaking
yeah,
wet, but
yeah.
this guy's jacked.
Yeah.
And he took his punches for 2 rounds, and then he just destroyed him. Where they were like,
That's it.
"Yeah, you're like,
That's it.
You're gonna die," and it's like, I don't want
Stop. You're gonna die, dude.
Yeah,
You're
Choco's
gonna
gonna
kill-
die.
Choco's
Like
gonna die.
I
We
wanted
need
to,
him.
I wanted to jump into the TV and stop that fight, but like the point, like with Canelo being so good at it now, right? Like, and he wasn't ready when he fought Mayweather, but they put him out there.
Right.
And since then, except for the Triple G, like he could have had a second loss.
Yeah.
And in that, and they should have a third one.
They should. I think they
just to
should. Why
finish
not?
off.
Yeah, just as.
But Canelo promises to fight at minimum of 4 times a year.
he's going for it, man. He's
Right.
He's
He fought in December.
yeah.
And so
Doesn't he have another fight coming up like next week?
Yeah, I think
it feels like it's like
he's
next
fighting
week.
on St. Patty's Day because he's got the red hair and.
So he
Right.
thinks he's Irish. Yeah.
Well, no, when my wife was watching it and she was
Yeah.
like, "Who's the Irish guy?" And he's like, "He's not.
He's actually
Okay,
Mexican.
He's Mexican." She's like Canelo, the
Yeah,
Irish
listen, man,
Mexican.
the guy. I think he's at a point like if he fought Mayweather now,
Oh, you would.
yeah, it would be close just because of the Mayweather defense. We know that his defense is moving around, but I think Canelo would connect.
I think.
And if he connects, I think
Yeah, like
It's
he's
gonna
got
be a
Canelo
long
has
fight.
just too much power now.
Yeah.
Like it's just
yeah,
he's a beast. Like
Yeah.
on that card was the guy with the slugger nickname.
yeah.
He was fighting this Chinese guy, big Chinese guy.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Zing Yang. Zing,
Right. He got knocked
something.
down like 3 times. Remember that?
But the guy was gassed. Like
Yeah.
he was 6'6",
done.
200. So he was gassed.
Done. He looked like a wrestler.
Yeah, he was just getting pummeled. But so you watch guys like that.
Yeah.
Like Canelo could fight anybody in any weight class.
Pretty much.
You
Pretty
know,
much.
like there are not a lot of people that can do that.
He's
can bounce
got
around.
and he's got a lot of confidence, man. When you're that, it's not cocky. I don't. It's
Yeah,
not,
he teases him for a couple of
yeah,
rounds, and then
yeah.
he
He's
shows
testing
them.
you out.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Okay, you ready? Here it comes.
Yeah, like he does that jab, solid like punch where he fakes it and then
Yeah,
punches
and-
through.
yeah,
and
yeah.
you can't. Like it
It's-
goes
it's
right
like,
through
oh.
your hands. And
you can't stop it.
you're like I thought I could block that.
No,
I can't.
I think he's gonna be around and he's gonna be a lot better than he is.
I better. I mean, like
He's already.
Who's going to be good enough to fight him?
I don't-
You
that's,
know,
that's the thing. That's
does
why
he
he's
lose
taking-
when he's old? Like when he's older?
So why do you think he's taking all these fights now? Money?
I think
Just trying to-
legacy. I think legacy. I think he.
What's his record right now? It's not.
it's
He's got
something-
like.
It's what he's got 1 draw, 1
We
loss.
gotta look it up, man. He's got like
Uh,
one. I know
yeah.
he's not like a perfect.
No, but this would be the perfect time for Joe Pedota. He's a big boxing guy.
Ah, where's Joe at? Joe, why don't you call us up, man? 718-616-9971. Call us, Joe. Let us know.
Yeah. So,
Cause
but
I'm not Max Kellerman. I don't know. I don't know that guy.
I like when watching the HBO fights, right? Merchant, and you had Letterman,
Oh,
and then
those-
every time they
those
like
guys
just
are
a
the
voice,
best.
right?
Yeah,
like
those
they
guys
were
are the
Letterman,
best.
what do you have it? I have 6 rounds to 4.
Well, you know
This
Jim. You
number-
gotta say you know Jim.
Well, you know Jim. I have it 6 rounds to 4. This Canelo is just completely dominating the whole fight. That's for me, guys. Take it back.
And he was always
That's
on
right.
point. His card was always on
Yeah,
point.
He was good at it.
And I was like, why don't they just have him be one of the judges?
And
I always-
Larry Merchant was like the slowest.
the slow, methodical. Like I have to
You
think.
know, boxing has come to another level, and now
The fight's over. Thank you very much. Ding ding. Game over. I mean, yeah, he was.
2 days later. He's just in the parking lot finishing it. They give him a camera.
Nah, he's. But but they are who they are, and they.
But so the heavyweights disappeared for a while, right? There wasn't, and Klitschko was winning everything.
Letterman.
Klitschko lost.
Yeah.
And then there was a whole jumble of these guys.
Yeah.
And so Tyson Fury shows up, right? The Gypsy.
Tyson.
We watched the fight, and after he fought, and then he starts singing, and he grabs the mic and he starts singing. You're like, who's this clown? But as bad as he was, you just wanted to see him finish that song. Yeah. You just go ahead. Don't stop him. Don't interrupt him.
Don't interrupt. Let him finish. Let him finish.
And then so with Anthony Joshua, who's ducking both of them, Deontay Wilder and him. Now he's agreed to.
Right.
Well, he's agreed to because it's the unification of all the belts.
Right.
And they showed Tyson Fury. He's 6'9".
Yeah.
He's this big guy with a great jab, and he moves. He's got he's all of a sudden he's got abs now. And the most dangerous thing is like the big sloppy guy is not sloppy anymore. And so that's another fight. Like you're probably maybe a rematch. Maybe whoever wins that and you fight again, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of big names. In the
after that.
heavyweight.
Yeah. There's no real names after that.
Mikey Diaz is a good boxer down there.
Yep.
And I forgot the kid that they were interviewing. It might have been him. And they were doing the interview, and they asked him, like, who you're going to fight in your division. And he only remembered one name because he was fighting him. And they're like, do you not know
who's in it?
Who you're fighting? He was like, oh, yeah, I know. He didn't even know Spanish. He was like, he's Mexican who was born in L.A. who didn't know Spanish. And he was like, do you know Spanish? And he was like, yeah, uno. I don't remember what he said, but he was like, uno, dos, tres.
I got it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
It's good.
I say he's good.
He's good.
Do you like sugar cane? I love
Speaking of boxing, we're talking about boxing. I have a good story for you. We have a song, Proyecto Uno has a song called Pumpin', right? And it's a real aggressive record. It's one of those records that the hook says, basically in English, what it says is, you think you're going to knock me out? You think you're going to turn me down?
So El took that from you?
It's one of those, probably, who knows?
But it's
one of those, you're sleeping on me if you think you're going to knock me down. So we were like, we have to give this song to somebody who's a boxer at that time to come out on the ring, with that song. We go to a strip club, right? We go to Scores, and we're going over there with, we had just finished recording with Eric Murillo, rest in peace, and Real to Real, Mad Stuntman, like a move it.
Yeah.
So
that's the only thing I know. So.
We go to Scores, right? We go to Scores, and after the studio, we go to Scores and hanging out. Who do we see at Scores?
Who do you see?
Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar.
So
was he in heels and fishnets?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Was he on stage? You don't want to tell us?
He was
There's like
there.
a Latin code. You're not allowed to tell us that he was all dressed up in drag.
No, he was there just chilling, just, big Daddy Mac VIP.
Right.
So we're like, oh, shit, that's Oscar De La Hoya. Let's go up to him, So we just go up to him. We Proyecto Uno. He knows who we are. We know who he is. And sure enough, he knew who we were. And we all hanging out together. And we're like, we got this song, man. We got this song. The only reason he didn't take the song was because, Mexican boxers, they have that Mexican pride. They want to come out with their
Mexican,
whether it's ranchero music, mariachi. They want to come out. The only reason, because he loved the song. He's like, this freaking song is great. If I didn't do this, I would have done it. So like, all right, so no Oscar, right? So luck has it that we're taking the trip. I forgot where we were flying to. I think it was Mexico. And who do we see on our flight? Felix Trinidad. So now we're like, oh shit, Boricua. So here was the idea of like, let's push the song onto him, right? Like, why not? Who knows? He was, he's doing his thing back then. So I actually have a video, and I got to put it up on my Instagram, like one of those throwback days, and put it up there where he's just kind of like saying shout outs and all that stuff. So we approach him with the same thing. And it's the same thing. It's like, well, I'm Puerto Rican. I got to do my Puerto Rican thing. So we're like, fuck, man, nobody's going to take our shit. So we're like, fuck it. So what do we do? Like
midget wrestling?
we should have. It would have been me.
Yeah, I think like, you taking on, and now taking on the whole midget wrestling crew.
Little Slugger.
Little Slugger.
So we never got to give the song to somebody, but I'm talking about it because I remember that boxing story, and I remember how, like, man, it's a good record. And if you hear the song, it's actually one of those records that can hype you up. Like it's almost like a song you would come out to, on top of the ninth, the closer comes in, that kind of stuff, that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's interesting that, like, when after you do it and you play it, right, and you're like, wow, what kind of song, right, you don't realize that's good. And you're sitting down and you look and you're like, there's a boxer.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
and the song is called Pumpin'. And it's like I said, it's one of those real aggressive, the lyrics are aggressive. It's like probably our most controversial song because we say so many things in that song that people never realize what we were talking about until they actually listen to it twice. And it's a lot of lot of politics, not politics as in, Democrats, Republican, but a lot of politics in the business. Like the first line, we had just signed with Ola Records, which was Jelly Bean Recordings, Jelly Bean's a record label. Ola stood for Home of Latin Artists. So we had just signed to Ola Records. And the first line on that song is, Estoy harto de este negocio. Me dicen hola, pero todavía estoy nervioso. And it's basically saying, I'm tired of this business. They tell me hola, and I'm still nervous because we were nervous signing with that label.
Well, it's crazy because there are, sorry to cut you off, but there are artists that call out their label in a song.
That was the first line of the song. Dude. The first line was, I'm tired of this business. They say hola. And, people didn't get it. It was like, oh, hola, you're nervous?
Yeah, you
I'm
say
saying
hi?
hola?
No. We're talking about the damn record label.
We went from, we were on a Spanish label. And that was our first English. Like we went strictly from like a Spanish label with to a straight up English label. Jelly Bean was an American label. They put a lot of money into the group. I mean, it was the big thing for us at the time. It was a big thing for Latin music in general. So, we were still kind of nervous. We were like, so we're not going to go to La Mega and play. We're going to go to Z100 now. Like we were kind of nervous of leaving our crowd behind.
Yeah, well, you're going to leave a lot. That's a lot.
And so that all that stuff we were so scared of, and the first line of the song is that, and we're like, oh shit. But there's a lot of things. There's racism involved in that song too, because we went to places. We talk about racism every day, and but we never talk about our countries. Like our country, there's a lot of racism within our own countries. Like we did a concert one time in Dominican Republic, and it was a huge concert. The whole island knew we were there. Everybody knew we were there. We did this big concert.
And it's always
after that, they invite us to this club, right? The promoter says, we're going to this club, and it's one of the high-end clubs in the world, whatever. So here we are. I go in. Eric comes in behind me, and they stop Magic, and they stop Nelson.
Dark.
So I'm like, I go in, I'm like, and then one of our managers was light-skinned, and the other guy was darker. So us three are in, and we turn around like, yo, what happened? And the security was actually telling them, no, it's a private event. They let me, Eric, and the other guy in, but then they were saying it was a private event. So there's a lot of things that we talk about. We talk about,
I've heard people say, like, guys I work with from Chile, and that a guy with a thick, dark tan, not dark black.
Right.
Maybe like that's considered black, and they just look
You
down on
see it,
someone
dude.
like
You see
that.
it.
And it's
You
like,
see it.
wow, that's right. But obviously, it's got to be racism everywhere because it just couldn't be here in America. No,
that's not. I've seen it. I've seen it. Unfortunately, I've seen it at one time. I remember in Puerto Rico. I was in Puerto Rico on vacation. I stayed in a hotel in San Juan. The hotel had a club, and it was a very high-end club. And I was staying at the hotel. I had, if you're in a hotel, you could actually go right in. Dude, I was on the line, right? I'm waiting, right? And everybody's kind of going in. People are going, and then I'm noticing that most of the people that are going in,
tourists,
light skin,
white,
no, and even like
just
Puerto
Latino?
Ricans. I have cousins that are blonde hair, green eyes, and then I have cousins that are black.
Yeah.
All Puerto Ricans do. We're, Spanish, African, a mix.
Chile
it's all there.
too, like
and
because the Germans were in there, and
right.
when they ran away from.
So this is what happens. I'm standing on the line. There's already been like maybe 30 minutes, and I'm going, and the person I'm with is like, why don't you just tell them who you are and let's just get inside? I'm like, I don't do that. I don't play that card. I never go, hey, you know who I am? I don't do that because that's when a bouncer's going to say, even if they know you, no, we don't know who you are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
As a matter of fact, get the hell out.
I know you.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know me? Like, yeah, you love to bust balls.
Right,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure, get in.
So what happens? I see a couple walk in front of me, and then they turn around and go, oh, snap. And it was a Colombian couple that was on tour. So they're not on tour, on vacation. They're on vacation.
And they
recognize me
Johnnie
in Puerto Rico.
Salgado.
And they go, holy shit, oh my God, what are you? And in Spanish, and they're talking to me. And I'm like, yeah, you're not going into and they walked in. They were actually letting him in.
Yeah.
And the guy tells the bouncer, hey, you know who this guy, hey, man, let this guy in. He's been in for a while. The dude wanted to let me in, right? Finally, the bouncer says, you know what, yeah, come in. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. And I turned around and left. I didn't even go. And I was like, dude, this is Puerto Rico. This is my island, baby.
Yeah, fuck that.
So racism happens everywhere, unfortunately. And I had to experience it that way. I mean, people experience it a lot worse.
Yeah.
But it happens, man. But it happens. But I only mentioned that because we were talking about the song Pumping, and in that song,
and then it just
we go from
evolved
racist
into
to like
fucking
something
racism.
else. I know you
Sean's here again.
There, I'm sorry.
There you go.
ADD, Boricua
ADD.
style.
Okay. So you do the talk show, right? You've been doing
Yeah.
it for 17 years now?
17 years.
All right. And
Damn, 17 years. Dude.
well, those are your numbers. They're not mine. I didn't make up that shit.
I didn't either.
I would have went with 12, and even if it was 17, I wouldn't have known any
17,
different.
yeah, man.
You could have said that for 5 years you just sat around did nothing
And
off
did
that
nothing. I was
Proyecto
just-
Uno money, and you're like just throwing cash around because you don't know what else to do. So after this, somewhere along in the last 5 years,
Yeah.
you decide, I want to get a little taste of music again.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I did.
And so you're sitting around, you're like, you know what? Maybe I want to make a song.
Yes.
And you did. And you
Yes.
did make a song.
Yes.
And so what's the name of it?
Confundido.
Confundido. Okay?
Confundido.
And so what made you want to make that song?
I missed it.
You missed the
I
music,
missed-
the
I
whole
missed it.
tour
I
and
missed-
stuff like that? That
I
you
missed
the headache of it all?
The one thing or the two things I miss the most are the creative part, like the part of going into the studio and making something that you don't
Working
you
on
don't-
the
yeah,
beat
like you
and
just
whatever.
like you start off the way I write songs is I usually have a melody. The melody usually comes in first in my mind, so I start humming, and I'll start going and I'll start humming a melody or whatever. I don't have lyrics to it yet, but I already know in my head what I'm hearing. I already know the music. I've done that before. I've actually produced songs on the Proyecton album that were totally not what we used to do. It was like I did like a Spanish rock ballad. To
If anybody's gonna do it, who's a big Kiss fan, it would
but
be.
but
it would
I
be
did
you.
it. I did it to the beat of Rock Box, Run DMC, because that's always been my favorite hip hop. That's like my top 5. That's my number 1, Run DMC. So I had this melody, for example. I had this melody with the song, and I was just like, when I was hearing, instead of rapping, I was doing to the beat. And so I started recording. I got a recording. I was like, so that part is what I miss the most. The getting creative and putting something that you hum in your head, and all of a sudden it's like this big production. It turned out to be this huge production. It was actually a song that was almost going to be the video, like a third single type of thing.
Oh wow!
And at that time, that's when Jelly Bean just said,
Yeah, I was like, I don't
"Going
wanna do this
bankrupt."
shit.
No, he
Yeah.
actually went bankrupt
Oh.
right in the middle of us.
I've got
ready
no
to-
more money to
He
finish the
said,
rest of this
That's
music.
it. We're going bankrupt. You guys do what you want. They released the album in South America, but it didn't. It wasn't released here. But I miss that, and I miss obviously the stage. I miss obviously like being in front of that crowd and getting that adrenaline.
So
from
who
the
do
crowd.
you address to go to the studio? Who did you?
Well,
pick
when it's a funny story, and you know what? Darlene's in the middle of all this, because I remember Darlene says,
Darlene's in the middle of all
yeah, because Darlene, big shout out to her.
Hey, Darlene.
Darlene says, hey, I forgot what it was. I think it was something at BB King, and I can't remember. It was a freestyle event. I know it was freestyle. I know
TKA,
K7 and all
man.
these guys were there, and I go.
TKA.
So I go to BB King's, and we go to this freestyle event, and I bump into a friend of mine, Pascal. Pascal is Sumake. He is the son of a very well-known musician from Colombia who did this, like one of these. Anybody who's Colombian right now, sí, Colombia, sí, Caribe. That's a big song out
I don't.
there. So,
I don't know it.
So
but I'm
anyways.
gonna go look it up.
well, he's one of those guys who's so I bump into Pascal and I'm like, oh, dude, what's up, yo? And I haven't seen him in a while. He actually worked on the music for the Urban Latino TV show, what I was doing.
Right.
And that was like the last time I saw him. So we're talking and we're kicking it and we're like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm not really doing music right now. And they're, oh, man, I'm doing production. You should come. We hook up. Like within that week, we hook up. I go to his house and he starts playing all kinds of beats, dude. And that one beat, Confundido, was actually a beat that he gave to the New Kids on the Block. The New Kids on the Block wanted that beat. Like, they were like, and I was like, nah, give it to me, man. Give it to me. They're not going to do no music. And
Don't
the New
get
Kids,
those old white guys my
well,
music.
they were actually thinking about going back on tour, but I don't
Yeah.
know if they did anything new. They were just
well,
kind of like,
what
riding on
happened
the-
was they did like a 6
Right.
new song
well,
thing.
I have a real big connection with New Kids.
I don't
'cause
know
our
how I know about the New Kids on.
Well, our management team at that time managed the New Kids, so
Okay.
we kind of worked together. I was actually going to produce stuff with Danny Wood, believe it or not. Like my manager got us together and all that stuff. But I actually put a picture today. I don't know if you saw it, the one with Joey McIntyre.
yes, yeah.
So
yeah.
we kind
It's
of
like that white guy looks familiar.
so we were all kind of
Please
like in
don't
that
go,
mix.
girl. Okay.
So he plays this track for me, and I'm like, yo, that's a hot track, but it didn't sound anything like it sounded now. It sounded more New Kids on the Block, you know. And so I kind of like said, well, you know what? I'm coming from Proyecto, if I'm gonna do something, I
You
want
wanna
to
try
give
to
it
match it up
yeah,
a
I want to
little
give
bit?
it a flavor that a little hint to say, yeah, that sounds Proyecto, but it's not. You know, that kind of thing. So
It's
I
Johnny.
did that. It's Johnny, and that's what I did. And we worked the record, and it took us a while to. Like we did so many things to it. Like it was so many like, okay, that's good. Nah, let's go back and do something. Nah, that's good. It was one of those things. And then he lived out in Jersey at the time, and I was still living in Queens. So it was like a lot to go back and forth. And we were trying to work until finally we just, we met some people that wanted to put it out and help us put it out, and we did. And then while I was doing that whole touring, and I went to Colombia first, and I was doing all this touring, and it was more like a promo, like a press tour, TV, radio, and all that stuff. I just started to see a lot of things that I saw that turned me off
That of the
from,
business.
yeah, from the business, that I was just like, oh man, dude, I already went through so many years of this, and now to do it on my own, I was like, so I kind of like, that kind of like threw me off. I
Well,
was
you know, when I heard the song,
Yeah.
and I snatched
yeah.
the song up, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this in my wedding. Now, my wife's family, they're all musicians.
Yeah.
But they don't know Latin music.
Yeah.
Anyway, they don't know. They're talented.
They don't
They're
know.
a talent. They don't know.
They don't know.
Anyway, the DJ, who I was okay with, he was all right. He tried to deviate from my plan, my list of music, and I gave him twice. I had to give him the old
The
the
cut
cut
it.
off sign. Like, I didn't pick that song. You don't play that song.
Yeah. It's your
But anyway-
wedding.
Yeah. But anyway, he played Confundido,
played
and
it.
he was like, he came down.
Yeah.
He was like,
yeah.
"This is your song." You're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." He goes, "Listen, this song is great. Like, can I play it? Like, add it to my playlist?" Because
Yeah.
he had a real shitty Latin playlist. And you were like, "Yeah," and like you said, like you didn't even ask for anything. You know, like, "Hey,
No, man.
you know."
Dude, for me,
I
it's
should have
like,
I should have just represented you and been like, after playing those two shitty songs, if you want my boy's song, you're gonna have to pay you.
nah, man.
Awful
For me,
mother.
like somebody that wants to play my song, shoot, more power to you.
Yeah.
Play it. Go ahead. It's helping me out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm, dude, you know me. I've never been that type of dude. People
No, I
ask
get
me.
that. That's like I
yeah.
think that's the point. It's
Yeah.
like you were just like, "Nah, yeah, go ahead, play it, man."
play it. Do what you want with it, man. Play it in your parties. Put it
Like
on your list.
people are playing that, downloading it. They don't know shit. They're
Yeah.
probably sitting next to you on a bus or driving in your traffic, and they're like, "Wow, you look like somebody."
The funny thing is, we did a video for that song, right? We did a video. The first video came out, and we shot it in Colombia. I went to Medellin, Colombia, and we shot the video out there. And during the promotion, we shot the video, but we didn't have it ready yet. But during the promotion, we were promoting that video, and it was kind of rough. And every place I went to, TV shows, radio, like, oh my God, we have Vin Diesel in the house. It was I swear to God, and I was always wearing the shades. So everywhere I went, it was Vin Diesel. So that
you show up and they're
they're
like,
it was,
Min Diesel.
and I was like, no, because they were like, oh, you look like mini Vin Diesel. I'm like, no,
I am.
he's just like the smaller version of me, like the big version of me. It's like,
I'm huge.
He's just maybe bigger Johnny. That's what it is. But the point was that I had to shoot the video over again, right? I was
then
like,
you did that video.
and I did the video that looked like Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
And that one just like really like took off over there. Like they were like, man, everywhere I went, it was like Vin. I'm like, no, it's Johnny. It's Johnny. That's why I actually put that in.
It's Johnny.
It's Johnny.
And they're like, "No, it's
Vin
Vin.
Diesel.
Yeah,
It's
Vin
Vin.
Diesel.
We know it's you.
It's Mini Diesel."
But yeah, that whole experience was fun though. But I miss the whole creativity, like the whole creative point of like being in the studio and being there for hours. And sometimes you're there hours and don't get anything done.
Right.
And then sometimes you're
You
there.
just all that time in this one great song, and you put it out there, and
Yeah.
you said like, you're no longer interested in the headaches of it all and the politics of the business.
Yeah.
But to know that you did it and could still do it, it's got to have a really
Yeah.
great feeling.
If the opportunity came, I'd do it again. I love the music. It's in me. You can't, like you can take the kid out the ghetto. You can't take the ghetto out the kid. You could take take me out the music, but you can't take the music out of me. It's there. It's there. And one thing that I remember doing, because again, going back to the whole creative part, I did this song that I was telling you before, like the rock box. That song took me maybe 3 weeks. One song.
Damn.
3 weeks. Because we were so perfectionist. We were so trying to get it to the point.
Each little
We were trying.
symbol
We
and
were trying to
sound.
get the sound of rock box. Boom, boom, ding, boom, boom, ding, boom, ding, boom, ding. We're trying to get it, but we had a drummer, and it just lost it. So what we did was, we took the drummer and kind of had him play the beats,
Okay.
and then we chopped it up and put the beats to make it sound like boom, 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 like it was playing, like he was playing it. We actually did. It was a whole process, dude, and then we were doing this whole thing without the permission yet of Run DMC, because you got to get those.
Because you're matching up.
Right. So
their-
now we're
their
doing
beat.
the whole thing.
Hey guys, I'm high.
So we're doing that whole thing. I even have I remember I don't know if I saw the show last week and Sean was talking about sound effects and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I used to do an electric guitar with my mouth. I could do music. I could produce music. I'm like Paul McCartney.
That would be great if you just played it with your mouth.
I
and you
did.
Were like,
Well, this
no,
is
not
what-
the sound of it.
This is what I did. Well, I can't, So I had a guitar solo in my head of what I wanted for the
Yeah.
song, but I just couldn't put it into musical
And you also
notes.
didn't play the guitar.
I didn't,
So,
so
you
I-
could make the sound.
Right,
of
so I had this guitar player come in, and I was like, dude, you're going to laugh, but I know what I want. And I don't write. I can't play it for you, so I'm just going to do it with my mouth. And he looked at me like, and I did it. And that dude took it to another level. And what you're hearing him play is exactly what I was doing with my mouth. Yeah. Like, it's that crazy the way I was like, I envisioned it just like that, and he did it exactly how I did it with my mouth. And I was like, that's crazy, dude.
Just
So-
to mimic that.
To mimic and
sound perfectly.
Well, I always used to do, like I said, I used to do a lot of like sound effects as a kid.
Well,
One of them was.
You did a pug and scared the shit out of us. So yeah,
But yeah, the guitar was always like,
fucking pug is back.
yeah. I used to do that a lot, and I used to. So I was like, fuck it. I mean, let me do the guitar sound for him, and he actually played it, and he was doing it to the T, dude. It was perfect. So we get the song, it's produced, everything is done, and now I'm like, I hope Run DMC says, yeah, you could use it. I'm hoping. Like that was the next
Then
thing.
there's that Run DMC thing.
That's
so-
that little thing where you got to
Yeah.
get permission after 3 weeks of producing
from
this
the
record.
guys who are the golden,
Dude,
the complete golden statues of hip hop music, and so
luckily, they loved the track.
oh yeah,
Like Run loved the track. He was like, "This is dope." Gave us permission. We had to pay, obviously, which I don't know what the label paid at the time, but they paid for it. And the song, if you look at the credits, it's my name on it, and it's got McDaniels, and it's got all of the guys that from Run DMC on it. Funny story. I go on a cruise.
another one.
Another one. I
Right.
go on a cruise, and who's at that cruise? Run. Run's at this cruise with I think his church at the time or whatever. I get on the elevator and here's Run inside the church, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Run.
Like,
Like,
what
so what do I say? I said, dude,
Jeez.
I made you money. I told him I made you money.
Yeah, so you should say hello.
So and he's like, oh yeah. I said, yeah. My name is Johnny. You might not know. I did this song, and I was on Jelly Bean Records, on Ola Records, and we did this song. Oh, Acompáñame. Dude, the new guy knew this song. Of course he knew the song.
Of course
he's
he knew
getting
the
paid.
right. He's getting money off of it. If it was for free, he'd be like, dude, I don't know.
Dude, but I was
like,
shocked that he actually said the name. I was shocked that he said the name of the group.
because he got money off
Yeah,
of it.
but-
There's a check that comes in that has the name of that song on it. And he couldn't believe how much money that check was, too. These guys are that good?
Yeah, but-
Yeah,
but-
give them another beat. Let's see what they got.
Me being a fan, like they're when you say top 5, Run DMC is my number 1. Like
Yeah.
Run DMC is, for me personally, because of that genre and that era, that's my number 1. So
But
to
it
see
leads
Run
you into what you do after that. And then to
Yeah.
see him to also, and then
Yeah,
he's
to
he's
see him-
okay, and know me.
and know me and say, oh yeah, I love the track, and I'm like, oh, that's really dope. That's really dope. So I've been blessed, man. I can't complain. I've been blessed. I'm blind, so you're gonna have to see this because I can't
Hola,
see.
it's Hola Choco, Hola Johnny.
This is who's that? Because I can't see. I forgot my glasses.
ISIS. It's ISIS.
ISIS.
You know who that is?
ISIS.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, that's Tony. ISIS.
Hola, Choco.
Hola.
And then we got who's that? Eastside.
Eastside Johnny Walker.
Eastside Johnny Walker. Hey, Eastside. Eastside. That's good. That's good.
So I have a cruise story. So
Yeah.
I recently, for my honeymoon, I went on my first cruise.
Right.
Right. We couldn't pick a place between warm weather and cold weather. I don't want to go to cold. I don't see there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even
Not
want to
on a
be in New
cruise.
York with that. But a place to visit. Not cold, but
Enough to.
so we take this cruise to Bermuda, right? So for the days leading in, we drive on this boat driving. It would drive
Driving on a boat.
driving on a boat on the water. Every day I would take a shower and I would go and sit on the balcony just with a towel. And then after a while, I would just drop the towel and just sit there and have breakfast and drink whatever, just
chilling. Yeah.
chilling out. So they said, they're like, listen, we're going to go into port about, let's say, 7:20 a.m.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I did before, but I took my short. I was sleeping nude, and I took my shorts and my shirt and I put it on the bed. I'm like, get up, grab those, and run to go see what it's like to pull into port.
Yeah.
So I hear him in my sleep. We're pulling into port, and you hear the sounds, and I get up and I grab my shirt and I run. You got a call? All right, thanks.
Put that story on pause. We're
Yeah.
gonna put it on ice right now, real quick.
Yeah.
Hello, who's
What
there?
is this?
Who is this? This is E Boogie.
Oh, this is Eric.
Oh, hello, Eric. Oh, hello.
Eric.
Hi, Mr. Fire Extinguisher.
Eric, for those out there, Eric is the other guy in Proyecto
Eric Morales.
Eric Morales, a.k.a. E Boogie, a.k.a. E Boogs, a.k.a. Boca Chula. That's his Spanish nickname.
That's his
Boca Chula.
Boca Chula.
And Eric could tell you why they call him Boca Chula, but, I'll tell you for him.
I
Eric Boca Chula because, Eric has the gift of gab, bro. Eric will go to a girl and say,
Oh
"Yeah,
my God.
come on, Eric. Come
He's
on.
like, he doesn't know what it is. Like,
You know I'm right, Eric. Stop it." He'd be like, "Yo, mi amor, que te
I don't know if that sounds good or bad.
that sounds good. I mean, hey,
It just
everybody,
sounds. Right now, we're just listening
Everybody
to it.
has gifts. Everybody has gifts, and Eric's gift is that he could just be like, "Hey, mi amorcito, a little bit of red wine," and so we call him Boca Chula, sweet mouth,
Mamacita.
sweet mouth in English.
Sweet
we translate it perfect.
Mamacita.
What's up, Eric?
Hanging out, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man.
Doing all right. Just telling us those
We're-
Proyecto Uno
We're
stories.
telling
of you traveling.
P1 stories, man. You need to come down here or come up because he's in Florida now.
Oh,
so
so you would have to come up.
You have to come up and share some of those crazy stories.
Oh my God, some of the crazy stories, really, guys.
Yeah, you know what, Eric? Why don't you tell us one story? Tell us? I told a lot, but you know.
Wait, do you have a story that would make Johnny embarrassed?
Oh shit! No, thank you. Next.
Yes.
Johnny
Embarrassed.
How the hell?
How can you do that?
You know what? There were so many stories, I swear to God, that honestly to go back, but the most embarrassing one that I could think of right offhand, because there were thousands, were the time that we sincerely thought we were going to die on a plane crash.
Yeah, but that wasn't embarrassing. That was just
Wait,
just scared
so
shit.
did you crash and you thought you were going to die? Wait, did you crash?
You know, no. The thing is that Johnny held my hand. That's what made it embarrassing. Like,
Oh,
really, bro?
shit.
You remember, Johnny?
The story.
Nope.
I remember the story. What had happened was.
Finally landed. Then when we finally landed, we came to our realization. We looked at each other and our hands were like, "Get the hell!"
Oh, that's great.
Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you this story as quick as I can. We left Costa Rica. We just finished the show. It was pouring rain in Costa Rica. It was like a really bad day to fly, and we flew out. Now, back then, that flight wasn't directly to Kennedy. It went from Costa Rica. We stopped. Where are we stopping? Cancun, Eric?
No, it was Costa Rica.
No, I'm saying, but the flight
Miami.
would stop in. Wasn't it like Cancun and Washington or something like that? We were stopping like 4 different places before we actually landed in Kennedy.
Oh yeah. It was Costa Rica, Cancun, Washington D.C.
Correct. So here we are. We get on this plane. We're taking off, turbulence like crazy. The plane, me and Eric both went to aviation, so we kind of know. I know a little bit
You know
more.
a plane?
Yeah, we knew. So we knew.
We knew about planes.
And again, this is back when you could smoke on a plane, right? So when the plane takes off back then, for those that never flew on a plane where you could smoke, when you take off after a certain amount of time, when you get to a certain altitude, the light comes off. That means you can go in the back and smoke. And everybody's smoking, so the light comes off. Everybody starts smoking in the back, and we're all chilling. We're hanging out. Now we're sitting in the back. There was no first class on this plane. We're sitting in the back. All the musicians, everybody's hanging out, and then all of a sudden, that light comes back on. Boom! The cigarette light. We're like, shit, that light is only supposed to come on right before we're landing. Like, what happened, right? And the plane goes into like idle mode. Like, we're just like, it's not turning, it's not going up, it's not going down. It's smooth as hell. Smooth. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? A few seconds after that, lower your radio a little bit. Lower your phone.
Hola.
Or get away from the phone or something. You got us on speaker and it sounds crazy.
Drop the phone somewhere else and run away.
So anyway, so what happens is after the cigarette light comes on,
Right.
the seatbelt sign comes on. So now we're like, oh shit! But yeah, there's no turbulence. It's really smooth. We put the seatbelt on, and we're like, Eric and I are looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Not even 2 minutes after that,
The song La Bamba comes into your head.
the oxygen mask
Oh,
drops.
shit.
Right? So that's when
Kiss
I
it,
grab
kiss
Eric's
it.
hand. I go, Eric, what the fuck is going on? And we're like two little girls, we're like, oh, and we're holding on. And we're like, and he's like asking me, like, what's going on? I don't know, but I'm putting on this mask.
Oh,
So I put on this mask, and then after everybody calms down, I'm trying to think of my aviation days. All right, the only reason, and Steve could tell us because Steve is from aviation
I'll make
too.
my way to the cockpit. I will take over the steering
Dude,
wheel.
we had our sound guy. Eric, remember Mate? Mate was our sound guy. Mate just kind of like, he had a bottle of amaretto that he bought from duty free. He just popped it open. He didn't wear the mask. Like, fuck it, we're going down. And he's just drinking a bottle. Like, yo, everybody else is praying, crying. Me and Eric are holding hands. It's the craziest thing.
Holding hands. I think that's.
The worst
I
part.
wish I had a picture of that.
I have a picture of that. with
Holding
the
hands?
No, with the oxygen mask. Was that Eric?
What's
I
that?
have a public announcement to make.
Yeah.
I have a public announcement to
Uh-oh.
make. To anybody that flies and their flight attendants start that whole bullshit of, okay, all the exit signs and all this life vest, fuck the flight attendants, they don't tell you the truth. The flight attendants turn to shit.
Yo,
I mean, they turn to shit. All that whole, all the hand signals of the doors, and the lights, that all went to shit.
That's why we panicked, because they panicked.
Because they would do it.
Remember?
Yeah.
They were doing YMCA
They were doing
at that point. They don't know.
The flight,
we don't know.
The flight attendants panicked.
None of that shit.
And then
Well, you have a better job in my hands than you will with them.
Yo, and Eric, you remember we're sitting on a plane with a mask on for like 35 minutes. The captain never says a word. So now you're like, what the fuck's going on? We don't know. It was like 45 minutes till he finally comes on and says, we had a little pressure gauge. And usually that's what I thought it was, because usually when you have a pressure gauge, you're not supposed to, thrust. You're not supposed to go up, down, nothing. You just kind of level it out to see what happens. So he goes and says, finally, after we're like, oh shit, there is a captain on the flight, right? So he tells us what it is. But we're okay. We're going to continue the flight. When we get to Cancun, they'll put the mask away and all that shit, right? So we're like, yeah, right. Fuck that.
I'm not going to stop breathing out of this thing.
So but the crazy thing about that is that after that happened, remember what happened after that, Eric? Everybody came to us to take pictures. Oh. It was like,
well, if this is going to be the last celebrity, if I could ever be a celebrity, it might be this guy over here.
And then afterwards, on the ground, as we were exiting, I was just glad to be alive.
Yo, he
have an autograph. I want to punch everybody.
You just walk around randomly punching people.
Well, what happened after that was that a few minutes later.
I mean to laugh because you said I thought I was gonna die. I'm sorry.
Listen, a few minutes later, the captain comes on and says, "No, you know what? We're not gonna go to Cancun. We're gonna have to turn back because it's all over again." So now we're thinking about, damn, we gotta go back through that storm to land. So when we landed, dude, we kissed the ground. We were like, we're not. Then they said, they told us, remember, they said, we're going to put the mask away. We're going to repair the plane. We're like, fuck this. We're not getting on this plane.
Sit and wait while they repair the plane?
Exactly. We're going to put the mask away. We're going to clean the plane. And you guys get back on and go through that fucking traumatic fucking scar me for the rest of my life. Fucking thank you.
No, so luckily for us, when we landed and we went back to the airport, they weren't giving vouchers. They were actually going to put everybody back on this plane. We were like, no, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Lucky for us, the guy that was behind the counter had gone to our concert the night before. Mm-hmm. So he's like, listen, guys, I'll take care of you guys. Just stay quiet. Just,
I'm going to give you Xanax. Lots and lots of Xanax. You won't even know it when we crash, buddy. You'll be all right.
You won't know what happened.
You won't know. Don't worry.
So the guy tells us, I'm going to give you guys hotels. I'll put you on a flight tomorrow, but you can't say nothing because I can't do that for everybody else. And I'm like, oh. So everybody's getting on the plane. They see that we're not getting on.
And they're like, what?
And they're like, hey, how you doing? We're like, bye. And Eric starts going, bye. Bye.
Not me. I didn't say shit, but I was smirking. But what I was really saying on my smirk, like,
fuck you. Yeah. Who goes back on that plane?
Everybody except us.
No, I'm just saying, like a plane falls apart, almost crashes. The pieces are still falling off.
I can laugh about it now.
And and then they're looking at it and going, yeah, the last thing I want to hear is see a movie about La Bamba and Proyecto Uno. Sadness in one day.
Yeah, nah, man, it was crazy. And then we threw the biggest party in our lives after that.
Well, that would make sense.
We threw the big. I mean,
this is the day we did coke.
This is the day the music stopped. No, we were just like, you know what? We fucking got another chance at life. We going back to Costa Rica.
Let's do coke.
So
we're gonna do this all over again.
No, we went. I remember we got back. We had security that used to work for us in Costa Rica. We like they were really cool with us. So every time we got there, we called them up. So we called, Pequeño, Little John, but he was huge. Little John.
That's usually the case, right? He's a big guy. You call him
Little
small,
John, and he's like
small guy. You like it?
He's a fucking big
fat
dude.
Guy, tiny.
And we call him, and he's like, "Don't worry, I got you." He takes us out. We go to the club. Everybody in the club comes back with us to the hotel. Like, it was just a crazy ass party, and we were like, "Fuck it." My manager, though, rest in peace. My manager, because he passed away a few years ago.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he goes and he's like, "I ain't doing shit. Like, you guys can go party. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna call my wife." He did not want to go out. He was just like he was petrified. Like, he was really petrified because he kept on asking us because Eric and I are the airplane guys and we were holding hands. Like,
you guys are holding hands. I was so scared. If you didn't think this plane was gonna make it, there's no way we had a shot at it.
Oh man, dude. I mean, Eric, we got good airplane stories, right? Remember that La Bamba story in Colombia?
Oh my God.
When we dudes were crying. You want to talk about embarrassed? It's time to embarrass Eric now.
Oh, you were crying?
Eric was on that plane crying. Remember that, Eric? When we got on that little ass.
Listen, I am not ashamed. My shit got
You shouldn't be.
Listen, we got on this little.
Be straight the fuck up.
We got on a 2-propped airplane because
those are the best planes. Man.
we missed our flight. Right.
Those things last for 200 fucking years. Okay.
They do.
You put
They
tape
actually
on
do.
it. They keep going out there.
Crazy glue.
They crazy glue it. You keep going out there.
Scotch tape.
Gorilla
Electric
Gorilla
tape.
glue.
Gorilla glue.
You put
yeah.
it in your hair. You put it on that plane.
Dude, we went on this flight and it was from Cartagena to Bogota. Normally on a regular jet, it's an hour. This flight was
On the propeller was like
3 hours. It was three hours of, and we went through like 5 thunderstorms.
Is this the chicken plane?
It's pretty much a chicken plane. That's like the one that. Remember the seats? That were like it was like wood with some leather on top of it.
Remember Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
That's exactly.
That's the plane right there.
That's dude. That's exactly what it was.
When the pilot jumps out on him.
We'll make it this way. I was sitting like this, right, and the pilot was right behind me. I was just looking. Are we all right? We're good. Okay, all right. I would look at the map. Like,
He taps you on the shoulder. Does it look good? And you're like,
I would do this every
it looks
time.
all right.
Every like half hour, I would go. So where are we now? He would show me on the map. We're right here. I'm like, fuck, that's a long way to go. That was crazy. We kissed the ground when we landed.
Five guys.
Yeah.
Guys, 5 thunderstorms.
Right.
And check this out. This is the highlight. No bathroom inside the plane.
There were no bathrooms.
Those underwears were when we got off.
Dude, I remember we all and all of that because we wanted to catch a flight, right? The thing was that we were going actually to Mexico after that to do a big show called Siempre en Domingo, which is like the Salgado Gigante of Mexico. It was huge. So we were trying to hurry up. We had to do a concert that night, and the guy, we were headlining. We didn't want to headline because we needed to catch this flight.
Right.
So we asked a few of the musicians, the artists that were there before us,
Get
so we
played.
could switch. They wouldn't switch with us. I'm like, come on, dude, we don't want to close. We need to get out. The point was that we needed to catch a plane because our flight left already. So we had to get on it. So we get on this propeller plane. We think we're going to get there fast. We get there slower, you know? So we land. We kiss the ground in Bogota. We land, and we finally, and as we land, Eric, remember what we saw when we landed? We saw our flight, which was a Mexicana airline. We saw the plane backing up.
Exactly.
The plane was
we landed, and all you saw was the tail of the Mexicana airline right on the runway.
Backing
it up.
And we were like,
We just took a fucking plane.
That's rolling backwards.
no, it's just, it's pulling out of the gate. We missed our flight.
Oh, it's the switch off. I thought, you know what it is? I thought the plane that you got off of
was going
right.
backwards.
He didn't put it in the brake on, and the fucking plane is going backwards on its own.
No,
You just show up in a parking lot and the fucking plane is down the runway.
No, what happened was we took
Connecting fucking.
Oh, right in
Right.
front of you.
right.
I got it.
We
That's
took
great.
we took this 3-hour flight. We went through hell. We land, and there goes our plane pulling back. We're like, no, we can't believe it. The point was we made it to the show, but we made it so late that we had outfits to change into. We had like clothes. We just went on the show just the way we were. Like we had no time for that. We literally whatever we put on, it was in the parking lot of the freaking studio. Just threw it on and went. But
You remember that shit?
yeah, man, we had some fun times though, Eric. We did have some fun times, man. It was a lot of fun.
Listen, it was fun. It was fun times, but hey, man, fuck that.
Come on, for old time's sake, just get on a propeller plane together.
Listen, all these artists now, all this shit with Instagram, famous on Instagram, and we were the real deal when it comes to touring,
Raw.
and being and making it, making it happen.
It was raw.
Super hits and actually touring months at a time and weeks at a time throughout the world. Where a lot of these artists, they come out, they drop, and listen, all power and all great things to new artists. I'm not shitting on that.
Right.
What I am saying is that we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Facebook,
Right.
we didn't have that YouTube shit.
Right.
For
Right.
real, man. And you know what? And that's what makes us a little bit more prouder of our music and our musical success because of the fact of the work.
The work, right?
To build it up because
The
you got
work.
instant success now.
Yeah,
and that's
it was raw. It was organic. It wasn't like we were on one of those American Idols and then you already have 15 million followers. So by the time you put a record out, you have a following. We were just like the label believed in this group. They played the song and they put money into it and they kept pushing and they're saying these guys and it was organic. So and like he said, there was no YouTube, there was no Instagram, there was none of that stuff. It was basically CDs. We'd have to go to places, drop off a CD to the DJ. It wasn't like, here's my email, send me, the download and SoundCloud. No, it was like you had to go to the DJ. You had to,
and the email, you had to wait 6 hours for it to load so you could send it out. Sorry, check your dial tone.
So it was raw, it was organic, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun doing that. It was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of hard work.
Yeah,
but it was guerrilla work, man. We do it ourselves. We
would
go.
It's the appreciation for it. I think that if you had instant success, you wouldn't have enjoyed the stories of it.
Right.
You'd appreciate something.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have the joy of going like the scared, holding hands and being scared.
Holding hands on a plane like two little girls.
Yeah, they're like nowadays they just hold hands.
Now we just hold hands. It's all good. It doesn't matter.
They're like, oh, I just want to hold you.
Johnny.
Yo.
Another. Remember the tour in Peru?
Yeah.
We were in the desert riding horses.
Hey, Eric.
Fucking horses wanted to bite feet.
He's getting chased in the desert.
I forgot about that.
Remember that shit?
Yeah, I forgot about.
In other words, normally normal horses.
Normal.
You fucking go, right? This motherfucking horse went, and he just like, fuck you, I'm gonna bite your foot.
He would just go straight to bite his foot.
Yo, this horse don't wanna go anywhere.
Yo, I told him the whole story. Hey, Eric, I told him the whole story about how we took so many pictures and you fucking opened up the camera and exposed everything and we went to shit with no cameras, no pictures.
Oh my god.
This
is why.
This is what? Say again. This is why what?
What happened?
Becoming entertainer.
That what? That what?
Christ.
Say it again. What?
I said we or
Yeah, you're
shit now.
You're breaking up, man. You're going on the water, man. You got to get
you got get out of the water. Get out.
Listen, I'm on the. Hold my earpiece.
I told you that Eric is a funny dude. I told you, Eric, everything happens to Eric.
Brick phone?
He's on a brick phone.
Did we lose you, Eric?
We lost you, Eric, or what? Hey, Eric, if we lost you, call us back later. Or
if we lost you, raise your hand, Eric.
Put your hand.
Give us the thumbs up, Eric.
Put the flag up. Put the flag up. We lost Eric, man. Eric, let me tell you, man. We had some great stories. And, like I said, Eric and I go back to aviation. We were actually friends about 6 years before we joined Proyecto Uno. Our very first show together was actually here in Queens, actually in, you remember that church that was on Sanford and 149th, I think it is? There's a church that was on Sanford.
The Lutheran?
Yes. So remember John Maholtis? John Maholtis was a guy that I went to.
Faces, I don't remember names.
John was a guy that I've known since second grade, and John was a DJ who was throwing this big party, and at that time Eric, Oscar Gonzalez, and myself, we were the freestyle group, and he is, hey guys, what if you guys perform at my show? Right. So like, yeah, we'll perform at the.
And just showed up.
So we showed up, but he got us a limo. That was the first time I got in a limo and all that good stuff. He's back on the phone. All right, Eric is back. So that was the first show we did. What's up?
Am I clear now?
Eric, put your hand up so we can see you.
Yeah. Raise your hand. We know you're okay.
He got that antenna.
Yo, he put the antenna up. Yo, you know what's funny? Eric and I
get to a higher mountain.
Eric and I would do lives. We used to do lives on Instagram, like kind of just to talk to the fans and stuff. And every time Eric got on, he looked like he was like America's Most Wanted. Like he was like one of those guys that was trying to hide. The picture would fuzz out like mosaic, and like he didn't want to get
in the shadow.
And I'm like, Eric, man, what's going on? Eric, so what were you saying? You were saying something before you got cut off, man. He got cut off again.
No, listen. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. In and out, but we hear you.
Oh, thanks a lot. No, what I'm saying is that we lived through the whole organic shit that now everybody with their smartphones can just capture moments that we let lose, that we let go, like, accidentally.
Yeah, I
now,
mean,
in this day and age, everybody has a fucking smartphone.
I'm actually kind of happy that we didn't have phones
so
on cameras.
Somebody, right, like the stuff you. Well, what's the basketball player, right? D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
He had his Swaggy P, his teammate, was making out with a stripper, and he was recording it, and then he posted it, and they were like, maybe your friend should have a phone around you when you're. You know, when
Dude,
you're that piece of
I'm
shit.
glad. There was a lot of things that that we're glad that we didn't have phones, and then there were things that we wish we had phones. You know, we would meet
Yeah, but,
celebrities.
still
and
the visualization
yeah,
of it.
the memory is there. We don't forget. I could tell you. I could smell that plane. I could physically remember.
Shit.
Oh man, dude, it was just horror, man. But we had a lot of great moments, a lot of fun moments. We had a lot of historic moments. You know, so it's fun, man. And I'm glad, we're blessed, and I'm blessed that I was able to do it with Eric because we were
Friends before it,
and we
stayed close.
worked hard, man.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows our story from before that, they know that we did not give up. We did not give up, and we had many friends who were like, "Yo, give that shit up already! Like, stop!" And we just did not give up. Every time the door closed, we're like, "All right, let's go around it, or let's find a way to go through it, or let's, you know." And luckily for us, and luckily for Eric, because Eric, I tell a story about how I never wanted to do this Spanish stuff, and you pushed me into it. Remember?
Yeah, exactly.
So you know, thanks to Eric. You know, I'm here. We were able to.
What it is.
Yeah. So
Because you might have been a one-hit wonder.
we could have been.
Yeah.
We could have been, but luckily
Or
for us,
2 hits.
or 2.
I mean, you would have had one, and Eric would have had the other one. And that would
But
have
you
been
know what?
it.
A lot of people still think that because we had one major hit, like one of our biggest hits was a song called
They
Tiburón.
refer you to it as a one-hit wonder?
I don't, because we had so many hits after that, and maybe not here in the States, but
But it was still...
we still had songs that, you know, we did songs with Real to Real that were both like really big hits for us. We did, you know, we've had many songs. If you go to Colombia,
I
you
will.
know,
I
you
will.
to South America,
I'll go to Colombia.
Go to Colombia,
and
I'll get
I'll
you the
hold up
ticket.
a picture of you, and I'll go and I'll point to it.
and you'll probably get everything you deserve, and
Yeah,
you know,
and
you
they'll
get, they'll upgrade your hotel room.
Like the fruit with every meal.
Eric, man, how you doing, man? Everything's good?
Everything's good, brother. I'm a little tired because I do my real estate business.
He's
is
like
doing
Shawnee.
really well
You're
here
like
in Florida.
Shawnee. Sean's the other guy in the show, right? The other guy I'm actually sitting in for today, and he does real estate too. And maybe I'll put you in touch with him.
And he's got a raspy voice too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So everything's going really on the real estate side. So I do like a good 12 to 15 hours a day. But you know what? You got to work hard for what you want, right? Like what we
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes, sir.
right? Right, Johnny?
Yes, sir. He's been doing this for
So,
since we've been in the group. He's been doing real estate
Something
and
else to
property
always
managing. Yeah, always
to pick
always.
up. That's good. That's
Yeah. He actually used to work his last job as remember, he used to work for Pan Am. Dude.
I used to work for Pan American Airlines.
Pan Am.
Remember Junior Mechanic or something? They had a Junior Mechanic.
Yo, he could tell you stories that make you not want to get on a plane.
I've heard. I'll tell you what. I've heard stories like that, and you're like
Eric, tell us one story about behind the scenes
the
of Pan Am.
dramatics. Yeah, the behind the scenes.
The behind the scenes.
No, but it's behind the scenes, but it was kind of eerie. The plane that actually blew up in Lockerbie, Scotland. Remember the time?
Oh, wow.
It was
Yeah.
actually right on the same. I saw that same plane and the same mechanics. We were getting parts and campaign, and then the day or two after, the Lockerbie situation occurred, and the same plane blew.
Yeah,
That was like kind of
yeah, listen, man,
Wow.
there was a lot of crazy stories, man. Eric had a lot of crazy stories of shit. Oh, another airline that was like that was Tower Air. There was a lot of crazy. Remember Tower Air? They used to do all these like
Tower Air. My brother flew from L.A. to New York, and the engine fucking blew up in midair. They had to land in Las Vegas.
Yo, I'm trying to tell you, there was some. Yo, we had some.
I'm so happy like that every plane I've
Dude.
ever gotten on has you know.
After this one, people are gonna say, "Fuck flying."
Yeah, right.
We're gonna take the bus. I'm taking Amtrak.
I'm taking the train to Alaska. So, wow, that's
Man.
thanks for calling in.
Yo,
I
Eric,
appreciate
man,
that.
thank you so much, brother. Go get some rest, and we'll talk soon, man.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for having me. Yo, Jay, we talk soon, all right?
Yes, sir, man.
Thank
Love you, bro. Love you.
All right, have a great night.
Cool, brother. Love you guys.
Peace. Yeah, Eric, man. Eric is
Just the way he started off well, and I enjoyed it when he was like, "Fuck that." That's it. You got me.
Listen.
Stella Martinez writes on Facebook, Tower Air to Puerto Rico.
Yes, I took Tower Air to Puerto Rico and Tower Air to Miami. That was our like our way to before JetBlue. It was always Tower Air, and they only had 747s. But every time you took a Tower Air plane, you were like shooting
gonna
craps.
make it?
It was like, is this one? Because I remember there was planes where the tires blew out. There was like all kinds of stuff.
Well, you
And-
see people now with these videos where one guy's putting tape around the outside of one of the engines, right? And then in the air when the engine explodes, and you're like, "What would you do?" And you're like,
What
"I
can
don't-
you do?
Nothing.
You
Just
can't
drink.
do anything.
Just keep drinking. Don't.
you can listen. The only
Just
way,
be like this.
Yeah. Cheers.
oh, let's go.
Salute. You
Listen,
know?
I always tell people that are afraid of flying, I mean, you can't do it now because of 9/11. The only way I had one guy that
You can't. There's something that you can do because
you
of
can't-
9/11.
Well,
It's
because
like-
you can't go to the front. Back in the days,
Right.
you were dude. I
Move
used to
around.
go in the, used to go in the cockpit. Like I used to be like, hey, can I go? In
I
there?
don't like people going. I never like people going to the cockpit. So I'm
dude,
glad they don't allow that. in there.
Here's a good
One
story.
of you fuckers, just someone goes in there and then all of a
Listen.
sudden, fear of heights kicks in and they get angry and shit. And I don't
Nah,
want that.
listen. We real quick story before I tell you the other story. We're in Peru. We're flying.
Well, I
from,
want to get to my fucking Bermuda story. So.
Oh, you gotta get to the Bermuda story. That's right. I've totally forgot. All right, so let's go to your Bermuda
Oh,
story.
you gotta
What-
go to
Vámonos a Bermuda.
Vas,
Vámonos para Bermuda and the cruise. You were saying about the cruise. You were going naked, butt
yeah,
naked.
so I was naked. Papi. Oh, papi, I was naked.
Ladies, get ready.
So preparing to go, like I said, like I go to sleep naked. I have my shorts and my shirt. And I'm
Right.
like preparing. We're gonna pull in port. I know the fucking sun's gonna out. I have my clothes. I'm gonna jump right on there, right? So they pull. I hear it. They pull in the port. I jump up. I grab my shirt and shorts. I go and I pull the blinds, and the fucking the sun's out, and it blinds me, and I can't see. Right? And I pull it out. And I look. I'm holding my eyes, and I can't. And I get there, and I'm looking. And it's like slowly creeping one eye out. I get to the rail. I look over. There's the tugboat and the two guys on the tugboat. I look over to the old guy next to me, and I'm, hey, what's up? And he's like, what's up? And I'm happy. I'm just looking at the island and the water. And I look back over to him. He looks at me. He looks down to the side. He goes, morning. Turns out I was butt naked.
You didn't realize it.
I didn't realize it. I ran out there. No wonder why the guy's on the boat.
They're all like, what
So I run back in there, and I'm like a little kid, like, yeah. My wife rolls over. She looks at me, and she's like, naked, huh? And I was like, yeah.
I guess.
At this point, I don't need what everybody's already,
cares?
everybody on this ship has
already
seen me naked. I don't need my shorts, so I'm good.
But did you at least have the fun of the experience? Of
100%. I would do it all over again.
It's
Like
actually
in the
cool to
middle of
watch
the
that.
trip, we missed the ferry, so we took the local bus.
Right.
And it you go right through all the little towns in the city where everybody's going, and it was a better. Like I didn't have a tour guide,
Yeah.
So but you just you look
just did your own.
where it is, and we just went through where everybody lives, which was better
Nice.
than the ferry.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and that was it. And then coming back, but it was like that's how it started. My first eyes open to the island of Bermuda was the guy in a tugboat, probably like
What the dude?
put some.
And the old guy next to you.
Yeah, he just he just looked at me. He looked down. Morning. I was like, oh.
Like, hey, whatever,
Morning,
man. I'm
yeah.
on a cruise. I'm never.
I'm
gonna
not
see you again
embarrassed.
after this.
I'm
Who cares?
We going to the nude beach?
Yeah, I like it's like, is there one out here? I was like, no. They're like,
Yeah, over
no.
there.
Yeah, you, wherever you go.
Man, listen, great stories, man. Those are great stories. I like I said, I look, man. We can stay here for days and talk about.
No, yeah, because it's your experience, right? Like
Right.
and when you talk about some of the things you did or the things that you do, right? You're telling people not just the stories that they've never heard before, even if you've said it 100 times.
Right.
But there's joy when you tell the stories.
Yeah, man,
And
definitely.
so with the people that are listening, like if we had 20 people that were listening, these are new things for them. So they're hearing you, they know you.
Right.
They're hearing you tell these stories, what you went through, the fun, the experience, and they're
Right.
like, wow, like you can imagine being there when you tell the story.
Yeah.
I can imagine like looking out in watching the people chase you from the movie theater and you running as
And
fast
I'm
as
running
you can.
as fast as I can.
And like the guy at the door, he opens it and he's like,
Come
this
inside.
way.
And I'm like,
Door
"Ah."
closes.
Diving
and you,
in.
Right, you turn around and it's a whole bunch of fans. And like, and you
Sweat.
thought you were safe and they're like,
And-
no,
and I was-
we're cannibals.
And the funny thing is, I was so upset because the movie sucked.
I don't.
I was like,
If I saw
"Man."
like anything that had the number
I don't
3,
remember it. I don't remember.
Nobody does.
I don't remember.
I
All I
think-
remember it took place at a theme park,
I think like 60 people watched that movie. So
and that was it, man. But that was there's a lot of great moments. There's a lot of good moments. There's a lot of sad stuff. You go through all the emotions when you tour, dude. You go through all the emotions. Like you I don't want to sound like I'm complaining because I'm not. You freaking toured the world, and what do you mean you gotta be sad?
bitch, what are you complaining about?
What the fuck? Man, you're holding hands.
Why you holding hands on the plane?
What
Bro,
the fuck, dude?
You just changed the story to like Slugger, what's this holding hands thing you do?
Yeah, well, listen, man, I was scared shitless, dude. But
And
anyways,
when you start to whisper and you talk about holding hands,
holding hands and whispering. It's like, hey.
I was holding Eric's
Let's
hand.
hold
and Eric was like, hold my hand, Johnny.
And then the funny shit was when we landed, bro. It was like, what the fuck we doing, bro?
Yeah,
We're
you're
good.
still holding hands. You're walking down the aisle. You go down the stairs. You get to the tarmac, and you look at each other like, I don't need to fucking hold your hand anymore.
And then, but yeah, man, we went through that whole roller coaster of emotions, man. It was just a lot. Look, dude, if I could do it all again, I would. You know, I have no regrets, man. I have no regrets.
It's just different when you're older, because an older tour for like older people is
No,
like.
but you know what?
You're like
man?
you ring the bell, and it's not because you want to go party. It's because your back hurts and you can't get out of bed.
Well, back then,
You're
back then, you'd be like, yo, so what club we going to tonight?
Yeah,
I'm like, yo,
like,
so
you could limp to the club. You're like, this is good. I
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Now you're limping because you need your pain
like,
medication.
yo, man, where's the spa? Like,
Dude's
where's the
like,
spa?
Mike, Jogo, come get me. My back is kicking in.
Like,
I
I'm
can't get
hurting.
out.
I'm hurting.
2
I'm
minutes.
hurting.
So 2 minute. We are at the 2 minute warning.
So what do we
That's
close it
right.
off for 2 minutes, man?
You know, I would just like to say, I don't know if anybody knows. I wouldn't say anything. That was just a joke. I don't really have.
You don't?
I don't. Like, I was hoping that to sneak in, just asking you questions and hearing your story for the whole time we were here. I gave him stuff like.
We did. We did.
Because you know, like if we went like there was, I mean, we were going to talk about the acting thing, right?
Right.
And I have to save that for another time, and that's not a big deal because
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I don't really get to explain it, and it's like because it's hard how I got there. Because I wanted to know from you, like when you had the support, when your father supported you and they put you in there. I'm always like curious at that level when you're like you have the support to do whatever you want. Like, so music or entertainment, that artistry that you perform,
Right.
like when you want to do it and the support you get to do it, and it's like just do it until you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because my first audition that I tried to go on 20-something years ago is funny, but it was painful for me. But it was funny, all the elements after it. Like there was a lot of anxiety and stuff like that and fears. All these characters I created and I worked hard for it.
Right.
And I was just taught like there's people that do it and then there's people that don't do it. You know, and I just guess like if you don't do it, you're nervous, then you don't do it. But it turns out everybody gets nervous.
Of course.
And I didn't realize that then. You
Yeah.
know, I thought it was because if I get nervous, then I'm not supposed to do it.
No.
And then it was like, obviously, like 25 years later, I'm
Right.
like, fuck.
But
You
it
know?
happens. That happens with the music too. You're like, people tell you, like I said, you don't really sing that good. And I'm like, but I think I sing good. No,
Yeah.
you sound all right. Or
These
you
are the
had people,
professionals or somewhat professional.
or you had people that would tell you the opposite. No, you sound great. I'm like, no, I don't.
But
Like,
what
I
did
don't-
your family, like your father, and he was like, let's
my
go.
My father was
100%.
My parents were 100%. Like I told you before. I mean, they bought me records. My dad bought me my first mixer, my turntable.
Is this what you want to do?
Yeah, he
And
told
then-
me. He
yeah.
basically said, "You want to do music?" I said, "Yeah," because I remember I took guitar lessons. I took guitar lessons for a little bit. I stopped doing guitar lessons. I got frustrated with it because it turns out I'm a lefty and I didn't know that, and I was practicing
Right, you were
with my
saying,
right hand.
we were telling that
So-
story about
So I mean,
somebody's.
but they were always backing me up with everything. They were always backing me up with everything.
I think it's the
man.
the support. The most
support
important
is
thing
big.
is you
The
get
support is
the support. So I mean, that's what I was curious about. That's one of
Yeah.
the like. If I was going to finish it off, it was like when you go in there, are you fighting with your parents to get there?
No, thank God I didn't.
And
no.
they were just like,
No.
"Let's go. You got this."
They
You
always
wanna
told me,
do it."
obviously, study, go to school, do it, something to fall back on. They always said that, but they said go for it. It was always like go for it. My dad was always he was like a lawyer. Eric and I, we didn't have a lawyer. My
went
dad
through
was
him.
my dad was a paralegal, so. He would literally, the managers and all that stuff thought that my dad was a lawyer. Yeah, so he was the one that was taking the papers to work and saying, no, this needs to be fixed, that needs to be like he was behind it 100%.
Well, that's great because Go-Go's son did the R&B,
yes.
and they reached out to you, to
Yes.
you, and then you brought your dad in, and
Yes.
he handled his contract.
Yeah.
Which I don't think was a great contract at first. or
No,
something
we
like
tried
that.
it. My dad was there with me, and he was just like, no, this should be this way, this should be that way. Like, yeah, dude, like I said.
No, that's good. It's like the support, like having that support base to push you and say. Obviously, the fallback part is necessary,
Of course.
in the conversation. But
course.
it's like, what's A? A is you want to do the job, you want to do the music, you're going to do the music.
You are, yeah.
And they pushed you. They
And,
were all behind you on that.
They understood it,
That's
man.
amazing.
They
That's
understood
beautiful.
it. So I've been
Big up
blessed.
to your family.
I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it helped us enjoy you by them
Yeah,
you know,
and
pushing
they
you into
enjoyed
the-
it. They were.
Yeah,
my
I hope
dad-
so. I hope your dad was like,
Man,
Johnny, that
listen.
shit sucks.
Now my dad.
You're my
dad,
son-in-law, Johnny, but what the fuck is that?
Listen, my dad. I actually took my parents once on a tour. To Florida.
When you we were the girl who won the lotto, she won $25,000 at 18, right?
right.
What did you do with the first? Like, what was the first thing that you could do for your parents? What did you do? The first big thing, not just like here's money, but first big thing.
Gosh, right off the top of my head, I can't remember. I think I bought them like a trip on vacation. My parents never
Like a
really went on
private jet?
vacation.
You gave them a private jet?
No, I wish. No, it wasn't that.
It
big.
wasn't that kind of
It
money.
wasn't that. It wasn't that big yet.
It was a picture of a jet money.
It was a picture of a jet with tickets for like Tower Air. But
I bought the third seat so you could get a little comfortable, but that's all I could do.
That's all you can get was. But no, but you know what? I did many things. I took them on trips. They went on trips. My parents really never. My mom, we used to go to Puerto Rico. My dad really never traveled, so he was able to go, and I took him on a tour with us to Florida. I actually we did a show in Pleasure Island, and we were staying right there in Orlando and Universal. And my show was at night. They got there early in the morning. I said, here, go and. They went to SeaWorld. They went and did all that stuff.
I could see like you send them to like a VIP club, and they're like, "I'm going to SeaWorld." Like I don't.
They had VIP passes, which was cool, so it was all good.
What's our time?
We got time. All right, it's time to say goodnight.
Time to say goodnight.
This was fun, man.
No, this was
fun.
Yeah, I can't. I wouldn't. I have a great co-host.
It's it's not easy
I
to
have a
fill
great
in
new co-host.
fill in the Shawnee's shoes.
You couldn't because 2
they're
feet
too
would be
big.
one of those fucking slippers.
But it was fun, man. And like I said, man, I'm here whenever you guys. I'm here to support you guys. I'm happy for you guys. I'm proud of you guys doing this show. And like I said to you from day one, it's gonna take off and it's gonna get better and better.
Yeah, everything I heard about you was positive support. So
yeah, man,
you're like my
definitely.
dad. So thanks.
Cheers, brother. Cheers,
Thanks.
and thank you so much.
Salud.
And thank you for listening.
Thank you.
And
Engineer Mike, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Shawnee.
Everybody out there, Shawnee.
Bless.
Bless.
Good night.
Good night. Adios.
Yeah.